guys catch Trump in New Hampshire? Oh, I cannot wait to get on the air. We're only like 20 seconds away here. Oh no, they just pushed us back. We're a minute away now. They pushed us back. We got a minute. Trump's speech in New Hampshire, he dropped one of the biggest things he's ever dropped. And, on early. And no one's reporting it but me. All right, good morning, one and all. It is Wednesday, August 9th, 2023. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. Oh, man, long time, huh? Well, today, you don't want to miss a minute of, well, any show, but today in particular. Did you catch Donald Trump's speech in New Hampshire? It didn't get a lot of coverage. It did not get a lot of coverage, but I watched it. Yeah, he started speaking around 2:30, he spoke for 90 minutes, and a clip or two are making the news, but the big news that he dropped isn't anywhere in the mainstream fake corporate media, right? They're playing the one where he called Christie fat, which I'll play later because Christie's a jerk and we'll have fun with that, but he dropped something huge, and they're not reporting it. And the reason they're not reporting it is it doesn't fit their narrative. I even broke my Fox ban and went over to Fox. They're not reporting it, although they had two different stories with Ramaswamy in less than 8 minutes, okay? But, so listen to this. So we've got 3 criminal indictments against President Trump. And I don't mean that he's the criminal. I mean the prosecutors are the criminals, right? The courts are the criminals. Yeah, this political persecution turning Donald Trump into Nelson Mandela. So now we've got this 4th one that's coming in Atlanta, right? Oh yeah, this is, turn your radios up real loud. You're going to want to hear this clip I'm going to play in a moment of President Trump. I will play it before the break. This is beautiful. And I'm going to play this throughout the show today, and I want to get your comments on this. To me, this is the big news from the whole New Hampshire speech yesterday. Okay, so I know, it's beautiful. Beautiful stuff here. So the indictment out of Atlanta, the liberals, they're getting all excited. We're going to get the mugshot here, the sheriff says, the crooked sheriff. You know, we've got this crooked DA. So they're getting all jazzed up about Atlanta, and then Trump in New Hampshire yesterday drops a bombshell that I never heard before. But you're going to hear it several times on today's show, at least once an hour. Okay, have you turned the volumes up of your radio or whatever device you're listening to us on? Here we go. This is President Trump in New Hampshire yesterday talking about the district attorney in Atlanta. This is the huge news. Okay, listen to this.
I probably have another one. They say there's a young woman, a young racist in Atlanta. She's a racist. And they say, I guess, they say that she was after a certain gang, and she ended up having an affair with the head of the gang or a gang member.
Uh-oh.
And this is a person that wants to indict me. She's got a lot of problems, but she wants to indict me to try and run for some other office. What's going on in this country is, and by the way, wants to indict me for a perfect phone call. This was even better than my perfect call with Ukraine.
Okay, so he dropped that the district attorney in Atlanta that's persecuting him in her criminal prosecution had an affair with a gang member. Fox News play that? CNN, MSNBC, have they played that? Oh, when I heard that, I was like, sirens went off with me. And no, they haven't played it because it would take away from the credibility of this criminal, corrupt system. Yeah, so he said that she had an affair with a gang member. Well, what's that about? So I went and started looking this up. I found some stories online about it. I know, isn't it beautiful? This is great. By the way, I want to hear your thoughts on it. Why do you think the media are not reporting this? I want to hear your thoughts on the whole thing. Isn't it beautiful? People might say, how does he know this? He's president of the United States. He's got all kinds of sources. And President Trump has 4 teams of legal experts, right, on top of the campaign and everything. He's got a legal team in New York, a legal team in Florida, a legal team in D.C., and one in Atlanta. And he's obviously investigating the investigators. This is beautiful. You know, the kind of politician that would bring these criminal kangaroo prosecutions against a totally innocent man are people with very dark checkered pasts. And he found one out. And her name is Fani Willis. Fani Willis with an I. Very unusual name, right? Yeah, I've never heard that name. Fani Willis. Donald Trump claimed, this is in the Daily Mail, I have to go to Europe, right? I have to go to the UK. I got to go to Europe to get a story on this thing that happened in New Hampshire because the media in this country are corrupt. Corrupt. Donald Trump claimed the Fulton County District Attorney, who was expected to slap him with a fourth indictment, is having an affair with a gang member in a wild tirade in New Hampshire. That's right. And that was the clip I just played for you. And this is about the call to the governor and all that stuff. Okay, listen to this. It's not clear where Trump got the idea Willis had an affair with a gang member. The Atlanta DA vowed to get tough on gangs, which she blamed for 75 to 80% of all the violent crime in the area. She expanded the office's gang unit, pushed police to seek more gang warrants, and lobbied for an anti-gang law in the state. Willis has made national headlines both for her work in the Trump case and for previous charges that swept up famed rappers Young Thug and I don't even know who these people are. Young Thug and Gunna, Gunna. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. Who cares? Oh, this is awesome. This is awesome. In addition to 26 other charges, who were supposed members of Drug Rich Gang, a group involved in murders and robberies throughout Atlanta. Young Thug co-founded Young Stoner Life. It's a music label that he formed with rapper YSL Mondo, who said that Willis had previously defended him in court during a 2019 aggravated assault case. Mondo told Rolling Stone that the Fani Willis who was prosecuting Young Thug was not the Fani Willis he had known. Oh, how many Fani Willises are there? How about this? Let's find this other Fani Willis that's connected to the same gang and get her on the TV and have her say that I was the one having the affair with these rappers. Just so happens one guy's got two Fani Willises in his life. Are you kidding me? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's another Fani Willis. Oh, well, okay. Just like Ramesh. Oh, I have no Soros. It wasn't Soros who paid for my college education. It was his brother. Oh, well, I get it. Okay. Oh, man. Don't you love it? Oh, yes. Mondo told Rolling Stone the Fani Willis who was prosecuting Young Thug was not the Fani Willis he had known. It's another Fani Willis in Atlanta connected to the gangs of Atlanta. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's not her character. It's not who she is, he told Rolling Stone. I had an auntie to nephew, mother to son type of talks with her. I know that's not her character. See, this isn't the guy she had the affair with. This is some guy she defended. Oh, man. All right. Have any of you seen this in the mainstream corporate fake news media? I love it. All right. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631.
And I probably have another one. They say there's a young woman, a young racist in Atlanta. She's a racist. And they say, I guess, they say that she was after a certain gang and she ended up having an affair with the head of the gang or a gang member. And this is a person that wants to indict me. She's got a lot of problems, but she wants to indict me to try and run for some other office. What's going on in this country is, and by the way, wants to indict me for a perfect phone call. This was even better than my perfect call with Ukraine.
Yes, yes, yes. So the mainstream media, if there was another Fani Willis and this story was not, if they didn't think the story was true, they would have debunked it already and had this other Fani Willis on to clarify things. Very unusual name. How many Fani Willises in the Atlanta area code there? How many Fani Willises are in the USA? Oh, man. Yes, I am enjoying it. I am enjoying this, and you should too. These are low-life criminals who are bad cops, bad prosecutors, corrupt public officials, and everything else, and we should savor this. And I'm going to throw this out. When President Trump has made claims against people and organizations, when has he been wrong? You know, he's made some wild claims in the past, and they've always been proven to be true. Does President Trump have a history of making accusations against individuals that are untrue? I'm not familiar with that. If you guys got some examples, let me know. Yes, I am enjoying this. I'm going to enjoy this throughout the morning, and you should too. I've got a lot more to cover, but that's the lead story today. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call The Steve Kane Show live on air now.
What are your guys' thoughts on that? Do you think there's another Fani Willis in the Atlanta area? Okay, here's another story on it. I got another story on it. Let me pull up the other one. Hold on. Okay, I got another story here on the Fani Willis affair. Hold on. That's also out of England, The Independent. Oh, they don't deny it. They just report what he said.
That's 833-283-5050. Are you living your best life? Are you feeling the way you know you should be? This is John, CFO at Lighthouse Medical Center. Our hormone optimization therapy programs have helped so many people get back to feeling the way they did in their 20s. They're full of energy after a long day, reduced their risk of heart disease, sexual vigor and excitement are great, sleeping the way they should without disturbances, and reducing their symptoms of aging. Our all-natural hormone optimization therapy is precise, easy, and effective from day one. Office visits are usually less than 5 times per year, and the cost is only $150 per month for most patients. Let our medical team get you optimized and living your best life. Our family medical practice has been serving South Florida for over 71 years. Let us show you what personalized medical care and being treated like family feels like. Call us at 754-222-6642.
Oh, this is good stuff.
That's 754-222-6642. Or visit us at lighthousemedicalcenter.com to schedule your consultation today.
The best way to protect your family from the effects of a hurricane is to make a disaster plan. In the same way you plan for your family, it's important to also make a plan for your pets. Making a pet plan ensures you know what to do for your pets when a storm threatens your community. You can locate pet-friendly shelters, find a list of supplies you may need to bring with you, and other information that can help you and your pets evacuate quickly and safely by visiting makeapetplan.com. This message is sponsored by the Florida Division of Emergency Management, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
And I probably have another one. They say there's a young woman, a young racist in Atlanta. She's a racist. And they say, I guess, they say that she was after a certain gang and she ended up having an affair with the head of the gang or a gang member. And this is a person that wants to indict me. She's got a lot of problems, but she wants to indict me to try and run for some other office. What's going on in this country is, and by the way, wants to indict me for a perfect phone call. This was even better than my perfect call with Ukraine.
Okay, so President Trump says the prosecutor in Atlanta had an affair with a gang member. So let's go. Let me go to Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone, they've got the story. Trump pushes total lie about Georgia prosecutor sleeping with gang member. Well, I don't think he accused them of sleeping. I think he accused them of sex, but, I don't think there was much sleeping in that accusation. The former president baselessly accused Fani Willis, who's investigating his 2020 campaign, of having an affair with a gang member. Well, baselessly, in a lie, have they found this other Fannie Mae? Have they found the other Fannie Mae in Atlanta connected to the same person? How many Fannie Mae's can a guy know? Callers on hold, stand by. Let me go through this Rolling Stone. During a Tuesday campaign event in New Hampshire, Donald Trump leveled a bizarre accusation. Sorry, guys, it's early. I'm all excited and tongue-tied. Against Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis, suggesting she had had an affair with a gang member she was prosecuting. Right? That's the clip I just played. Trump has repeatedly attempted to discredit prosecutors investigating him, and while it's unclear what Trump was talking about when he accused Willis of having an affair with a gang member, recent social media posts indicate that he is widely misrepresenting a case she handled in 2019. Well, how about go out and find this other Fani Willis? In January, Rolling Stone, or why don't you just go to President Trump and say, what is this? Can you give us the details on this, President Trump, so we can go out and investigate this story? No, Trump just said it, so they say it's a lie. In January, Rolling Stone spoke to rapper YSL Mondo, who I've never heard of before, who co-founded the Young Stoner Life music label with Young Thug. Well, that sounds like a credible individual. Founded a group called Young Stoner Life with his partner, Thug, Young Thug. Oh, man. Yeah, incredible voice there. Willis represented YSL Mondo during a 2019 aggravated assault case and would later go on to prosecute Young Thug and 13 other defendants in a RICO case, alleging that the music group had affiliations with gang violence in Atlanta. According to Mondo, Willis's prosecution of Young Thug ran contrary to the impression he developed of the prosecutor when she represented him. This is not her character. This is not who she is. I done had he's a great master of the English language. I done had auntie to nephew, mother to son type talks with her. I know this is not her character, says the guy who had the Stoner record label. And his partner's a criminal. And he was up in charges that she defended. It's politics behind this blank. It's other people pulling the strings. Yes. I don't see this other Fani Willis. No, they didn't talk to another Fani Willis. Laura Loomer tweeted, Atlanta DA Fani Willis, who was targeting Donald Trump in Georgia. Turns out she failed to disclose a previous relationship she had with a gangbanger she was supposed to be prosecuting. Baby girl belongs in a trap house, not a courthouse, Laura Loomer tweeted. I guess Laura Loomer's getting all thug life there. That's right. Oh, my goodness. We got to get to the bottom of this. We really do. And I just find it hard to believe that someone can know more than one Fani Willis anywhere in the world, especially in the Atlanta metro area. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Mike. What's a trap house, by the way? I don't know all this hip-hop or drug lingo.
Apparently, I'm just assuming it's like a whorehouse or something like that. You know?
It sounds like a drug den. It sounds like a place where you go for drugs. Maybe I can get Hunter Biden on the line. I'm sure he knows.
Not only is President Trump a president of the United States, he knows these things, but he has the wherewithal to hire the best private investigators
Oh, yes.
around. So even if he didn't know from being president, he probably would have hired somebody and, say, go look into this person.
Well, all I see, I don't see, have you seen this on the television media? I haven't seen this clip on, they're playing the clip of him calling Chris Christie fat, but they're not playing this clip, which gives credibility to the accusation. There's print media that are talking about it, Daily Mail, Yahoo News, Rolling Stone, and some others, and all they do is call it a lie. I haven't heard them go to Trump for the information. I haven't heard them go to Fani Willis or find this other Fani Willis. They just say, it's a lie, it's not baseless because you haven't gotten off your butt and not asked people information to follow up on this. I think that the media not reporting the clip gives credibility to the statement.
Right, and that's the thing. I mean, a lot of these things that he said that they've written off as, quote, conspiracy theories, right? I mean, when he first said, they've been spying on me, they've been wiretapping.
He said, Obama is spying on me here in Trump Tower, and they said, that's a lie, there's no way. And then we find out it was true. And I'm trying to think, when has Donald Trump made an accusation against an individual? I'm not talking about something you disagree with him on. When has he made an accusation against an individual that was wrong?
I can't. I mean, he's the one that got Obama to release
a birth certificate. That's right. Hey, Mike, appreciate the call. Yeah, this is good stuff. You're on the air. What's your name?
My name's Bob, and I'm calling about what you said about Vivek Ramsey.
Vivek Ramaswamy? You sure you're calling in about the right person? Isn't school back yet? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yes. Oh, man. All right, we're coming up on our bottom of the hour break. This is awesome.
I probably have another one. They say there's a young woman, a young racist in Atlanta. She's a racist. And they say that she was after a certain gang, and she ended up having an affair with the head of the gang or a gang member.
Wow. I mean, that is massive. And let me tell you, this media are not in the business of protecting Trump. They're in the business of discrediting Trump. If this was totally baseless, they would go to him, and where'd you get this from? They'd go to Fani Willis in Atlanta. They'd go to the rapper and locate this other Fani Willis, and they're not doing any of that, which means there's something to this, or at least the media believe there's something to it. So we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. There is more to talk about than this, but I do want to hear your thoughts on this. The Atlanta prosecutor, President Trump says, had an affair with a gang member during a prosecution. Oh, my. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again.
I think you're gonna really love it.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, hold on. I got next story. Oh, this is beautiful, guys. It doesn't get better than this.
From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. An excessive heat warning is up from 11 until 7 for our entire area. What that means is that it could feel like between 110 and up to 115 this afternoon. There's also a chance of some isolated strong storms. Under the PDF 25.
I have so many, all my show prep is on my Twitter feed. Well, thank you, Metro. Thank you. And I have so many stories on my Twitter feed. Where's this one? Yes. This one I talked about on my podcast last night. I hope you guys listen to my podcast. My podcast, the Brian Craig Show podcast, which has been named the number 3 must-listen-to conservative podcast in America. Number 1 was Mark Levin. Number 2, Glenn Beck's The Blaze. Number 3, the Brian Craig Show podcast is on all podcast platforms. And it's a bit different than this. I can get in a little deeper on things. I co-host it with my wife. But this is one of the stories I talked about. I gave a lot more detail in the podcast than I can go through now. But I also upload my podcast here on my YouTube channel. Oh, man. I've only had half of my normal coffee at this point, too. So I'm afraid to have more coffee. If I have more coffee, as excited as I am. What's his new gig? Firing his staff? You talking about Rumble? I've never really watched Crowder, but I've followed his fall. He's a self-destructive guy. My goodness. I wish I had 5% of the resources and help he had. What I could do with that? He's blown everything. Blown his marriage. He blew that deal from the Daily Wire by asking for craziness. You know? He's doing, losing his staff. He's in self-destruct mode. I don't like people that record phone conversations. Yeah, him recording those phone conversations, I think that's a real low-life move. Don't you guys? I mean, I'm not into people doing that. That's awful. Is he? I don't really follow Crowder. I know who he is, but... Yeah. I mean, let me ask you, yes or no? Do you believe Trump's accusation is true? Hey, Neil. Do you believe his accusation is true? Yes or no? Yeah, you guys, call me on the air about it. If you've never called, call in, or haven't called in a while, call in. I'd like to hear some new voices. Oh, yeah. Yeah, if it was totally without merit, the media would be out there exposing it to discredit him. Deny, somebody has to go to her and ask her. No one's gone to her to ask her. So, no, she's not denied it or anything. Joe Rogan interviewing Trump. I think Rogan's afraid to interview Trump because I think he likes Trump, and he's afraid that he'll get a guest boycott of his show if he interviews Trump. I think he's afraid. Trump does not need Joe Rogan. It's not that it wouldn't help. Everything helps, but it's so funny you say that about Adam 12. I was just watching a YouTube video on Adam 12 the other day. Mm-hmm. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, guys. This is where MAGA comes to talk, all right? This picture here, this is President Trump, the last 15 minutes of his first term in the Beast, right outside Mar-a-Lago. Adam 12 is a spin-off of what show? Do you know? Adam 12 is a spin-off of what television show? Don't answer the Adam 12 guy. See if anybody else knows. No, not Car 54. Emergency One. No, that's another good one. Green Acre. Dragnet. That's correct. It's a spin-off of Dragnet. That's correct. The rookie cop in Adam 12, I cannot remember the name, was in an episode of Dragnet. Yeah, Reed. Yeah, that show with Nathan Fillion is a ripoff of Adam 12. The Rookie, total ripoff of Adam 12. Yeah, Jack Webb directed the pilot. He just didn't use his name in the credits. I know too much about Adam 12.
Years on the air.
All right. What a great Wednesday. If you're just tuning in, you've missed a lot. I'll recap what I did in the first half hour. President Trump in New Hampshire had an amazing speech yesterday and said that the prosecutor in Atlanta... Well, let me just play it again. What the heck? Any excuse to play it again. Hold on. Let me see here. I'll play it one more time. I'm going to play it throughout the show. But this is Trump in New Hampshire talking about the Atlanta district attorney.
And I probably have another one. They say there's a young woman, a young racist in Atlanta. She's a racist. And they say, I guess, they say that she was after a certain gang, and she ended up having an affair with the head of the gang or a gang member.
Wow. That's President Trump yesterday. Fani Willis has not denied this, of course, because to deny it, someone would have to ask her about it. And no one in the media wants to ask her about it, apparently, which tells me that the media believe that this may be true. Now, here's a story. So that's the Atlanta prosecutor. Don't worry. We'll get back to that one. Oh, yes. That's too good to just mention once or twice or for 34 minutes. Now, this story I talked about in great detail on my podcast last night, which you all should be listening to, the Brian Craig Show podcast, which is on all podcast platforms, and I also upload it to my YouTube channel, has been named the #3 must-listen-to conservative podcast in America. That's true. I know. I was shocked myself when it first happened. It still shocks me because #1 was Mark Levin, and #2 was Glenn Beck at the Blaze. And #3, the #3 must-listen-to conservative podcast in America is the Brian Craig Show podcast. And the show's a little different than this one. I co-host with my wife, and I can get into a lot more detail on things. But I did get into deep dive into this story on my podcast last night, so check it out. But I'm going to give you the Reader's Digest version. This is on the corrupt judge in D.C. The Obama donor, who's a judge appointed by Obama. This is stuff you cannot make up. Now, we had heard that she worked at the law firm that Hunter Biden worked at the same time before she was a judge. Well, some new information has come out. While it is technically accurate that she worked at the firm, the same law firm as junkie Hunter Biden, it's a little more detailed than that. She didn't just work there. She was an equity partner. An equity partner. And she left when Obama, who she donated money to, made her a federal judge. So she was an equity partner. So she's an owner. She's an owner of the law firm that hired Hunter Biden. So that's a pretty big conflict, right? Well, Hunter had a big fish client for the D.C. judge's law firm that she was a partner of, an equity partner, which means she's co-owner with others. You know who the big fish client that Hunter had, that she made money off of? Burisma. Burisma. That's right. So, Burisma, for those that don't know, okay, Burisma is that Ukrainian company that was paying Hunter how many tens of thousands a month to do nothing except influence peddle to his father? That had the prosecutor on their back, and Biden threatened to cut off U.S. aid to Ukraine if they didn't fire the prosecutor? That Burisma. So she has profited from Burisma. She had Burisma as a client of the firm that she was a partner at. So you mean to tell me we've got two women going after this great president? One of them, President Trump says, had an affair with a gang member during a prosecution. Is that a criminal thing? I don't know. Seems sketch to me. And now we've got a Burisma judge in D.C. presiding over the case. What's going on here? Now, I have had less than half of the caffeine that I normally have at this time of the morning. I'm afraid to drink more coffee. I am so energized on these snakes being exposed for the corrupt snakes that they are, that I'm just high on that right now. I mean, the caffeine, I'll drink more of my coffee because, you know. But this is an exciting day. So why is that not in the press? You know why? Because the news are in the business of covering up news. They have two jobs in the media: cover up news and manufacture fake news. That's what they do. All these people in journalism would tell you at some drunken party that they all want to be Woodward and Bernstein. They're all looking for the big story. I just gave you two major stories today that they could turn into. This Fani Willis, if you're a reporter and you want to go viral and be famous and everything, you go and cover this Fani Willis accusation of Trump. Whether it's true or not, whatever you uncover, whether she had the affair or if you uncover that she didn't, it'd be a huge story. Oh no, but we can't do that because we got a narrative, and its narrative is hate Trump. Trump said it, it's a lie. We don't need to investigate. Now, the story with the D.C. judge is massive. Not only should she be recused from the case, perhaps there should be an investigation to impeach her from the federal bench. Federal judges can be impeached, Alcee Hastings, who recently passed away, was a member of Congress for a long time. Before he was in Congress, he was a federal judge who was impeached. He was appointed by President Carter. And I knew Alcee Hastings, black Democrat. He used to fill in for Steve years ago when I first started. When I first started with Steve, and I was board opping the show and doing an overnight show, Alcee Hastings used to fill in for Steve. I remember Steve went to Europe for a week, and Alcee Hastings filled in for a week. He was out of work. He wasn't in Congress yet, and he'd been removed from the bench. And he was impeached by many members of the same Congress that he later went on to serve with. So they removed him from the bench, which means they thought he took the bribe that he was accused of taking. I don't know, but I know that the Congress people thought he did and removed him from the bench. Right? But he was a federal judge in Miami, and there was an accusation that he had taken a bribe in some case. I don't know that he did it. I knew him a little bit, because he filled in a bunch of times for Steve, and it seemed like a nice guy. I don't know. Although he got really nasty and scary when he was in Congress to me. But anyway, judges can be removed from the federal bench. They can be impeached. And it's happened. That's just one that I know of because I knew the guy. And it was so much fun because I was the board op, and he screened calls, and I answered the phones. And people would call in and wanted to ask him about taking the bribes that he was accused of, and I would put those calls to the front of the line. It was kind of fun, Mike. I don't know. Alcee Hastings didn't like it too much. Hey, Brian, what are you doing? I'm like, these are the calls you're getting. It was pretty funny. Yeah, we had another Democrat congressman that went to jail for using campaign cash to pay off gambling debts or something, and he used to fill in too. And for Steve. Steve's got a lot of really great fill-in people. And he would get calls, and I'd answer the phone. These calls I'd put to the front of the line. They say, why'd you steal the campaign money? And I remember that it was like 5 or 6 calls in a row. Why'd you steal the money? Because he went to prison for this. And he was getting really upset, and he said to one caller, I needed the money. I needed the money. Oh my gosh, it was beautiful. So, and he was a member of the United States House of Representatives, and he went to jail. By the way, both these corrupt guys were Democrats. But this judge in D.C., now let me ask you in a serious way here. This D.C. judge was a partner in the firm that Hunter worked for. So Hunter worked for her. She was Hunter's boss because she was a partner. They had Burisma as a big fish client. There's obviously more than a conflict of interest there. There's several conflicts of interest, and not only should she be recused from the case, but I want to ask you this, and I'm going to give the number out. You guys can call in on all these things I brought up today. Should the D.C. judge be investigated to find out if there's any monkey business going on here? Any funny business? She's a partner in a law firm that Hunter worked for. So Hunter worked for her. Keep in mind, Hunter's dad arrested President Trump. And they had Burisma as a big fish client for the firm, which means she got Burisma money through the law firm. So and everything goes back to Ukraine. Everything keeps going back to Ukraine. Should she be investigated as well as be recused from the case? Should the United States House of Representatives begin an impeachment inquiry against the D.C. judge just over this Burisma Hunter Biden business that she was the partner in the firm at this time? I think so. I mean, again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. I've never taken a law class or anything. I know nothing about this, but it stinks. All right, our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are listening to us, all right? 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9.
This is awesome.
You're on The Steve Kane Show.
Hey, neighbor, are you ready for our golf match?
Oh,
Sure am. As soon as 2 men in a truck is done.
What? You're moving?
No,
great
there's
stuff.
2 men in a truck junk removal coming.
2 men in a truck does junk removal?
Yeah, the same 2 men in a truck we trust for moving and storage can now handle all my junk removal needs. And I'll be able to get my car in the garage.
And find your golf clubs.
2menpalmbeach.com.
Oh, if you're on hold, hang in there.
2mentreasurecoast.com. Now offering junk removal.
When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to any lab.
Well, we're not talking about other people. We're talking about 2 people that have some things that need to be looked at here.
No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit any lab test now of Boca at any lab test
Hold
now
on.
of Coral Springs. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only 2
All right.
advertised on our radio
Oh.
station. So don't use the rest. Only
Beautiful, guys. This is beautiful stuff.
Any lab test now of Coral Springs, and make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Hi, this is Maureen Cohen from Nutrition World Palm Beach Gardens. We're so excited to be celebrating 50 years here in South Florida. The Cohen family.
How can you not be happy with this stuff? How can you not be happy?
And ever since have been one of the largest locally owned family-run health food stores in the area. We carry thousands of supplements like vitamins, minerals, herbs, homeopathics, diet and fitness, and so much more. All your favorite top quality brands. We also have tons of natural foods like gluten-free, paleo, and organic, as well as health and beauty aids, pet foods, and more. Visit Vanessa, Trish, Nelson, Scott, and Bruce. They're here 7 days a week for all your family's natural health needs. So stop by Nutrition World at the Northeast Boulevard and Prosperity Farms Grove in the Carmine's Market Plaza by the Prosperity entrance. You can call us or text us anytime at 561-626-4377. That's 626-4377. Or check out our website at nutritionworld.com. Come see us 7 days a week at Nutrition World Palm Beach Gardens.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez at the Biostation West El Rey, and hormone replacement pellet therapy. Hormone replacement pellet
Oh, this is
therapy
great
all
stuff.
natural.
It doesn't get better than this.
Restore your hormones to where they were when you were in your 20s.
Oh, I haven't even gotten to...
You'll have more energy.
I've got so much to cover today, but we got to savor these things.
Completely stops and reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings gone. Night sweats gone. I've met listeners before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez, and when I first meet him, they're like Joe Biden, and no one wants to be like him. And then I meet him again after they began hormone replacement pellet therapy, and they have their energy back, just like Trump. They're standing up tall, and they feel years younger. Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez when you tell him you heard about him on the radio. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is.
All right, welcome back. Callers on hold, stand by. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I'm so jazzed up, I'm talking almost as fast as Ben Shapiro with all of this great news that's going on. But first, I want to talk to you guys about Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain treatment. You know, every advertiser that you hear either me or Steve do a commercial for, either Steve uses them, I use them, or we both use them. Okay? And, you know, we don't share advertisers with you until we've experienced whatever it is that they're offering before we can recommend it to our listeners out there. We don't, you know, Steve and I went to a restaurant recently that was we were thinking about having come on as an advertiser, and the food was no good. So we're not talking about him. We're not going to send you someplace and get terrible food. Well, Dr. Appleton, one of the guys from the sales department, told me about Dr. Appleton. He said he wanted to take me over there, and he says, you know, he's heard me complaining about my knee. Remember, I was complaining about my knee, my right knee was, oh man, especially this time of year, during rainy season, was just awful pain. And he says, you know, Dr. Appleton has this thing, it's called laser away pain, and it can treat your knee. And he was telling me he had something done. And I was like, okay, let's go. And I went over there, I met with Dr. Appleton, and he told me about the treatment. And I'd been suffering with knee pain for years. And I said, I told the sales guy, I said, I don't know about this. I mean, come on, you know, come on. The next day, the pain was gone in my knee. And in fact, when at the old studio in Boca, you know, I always stand when I'm on the air. I know everybody else sits. And the reason I stand, if people sit, they like fall asleep. You know, you stand to be energetic and things on the air. And at the other studio, I had a chair. I have a chair next to me now that I use as a table, but I had a chair next to me that I would lean on with my left hand so I could put my weight on the left side of my body because my right knee hurt so bad. And I realized one morning after the laser away pain treatment, I was using the chair as a table and wasn't leaning on it anymore. I was putting my weight on my right. I'm right-handed, so my right side's my dominant side. The laser away pain treatment works. And that knee injury was from that really super bad skateboard accident I had when I was live streaming. If any of you were watching that live stream when I had that skateboarding accident, it was bad. It was so bad, my wife was watching and called my daughter and had her come pick me up. And I was only one street over. I couldn't walk home. And I had that pain for years gone. And of course, my most recent injury, my shoulder injury from another skateboard accident, gone. Gone. Go see Dr. Appleton. His laser away pain treatment works, guys. I'm telling you, it works. It will change your life on so many different kinds of pain. It's always no appointment necessary, and walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. I'm going to give you Dr. Appleton's number. If you need him to, his office will text you directions to your cell phone, by the way, to his office. Give him a call, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Richie. Great.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Well, but you know, you do so much for everybody out here. I'm going to give you a big credit, because you're probably the only time you sleep, you're not looking at things to get information out to everybody. I don't know if you caught something. Is the Gateway, I'm going to ask you a question, is the Gateway pundit credible?
Yeah, there's been one or two stories that have been debunked over the years, one on Mueller and one other one, but the Gateway Pundit is very good. TheGatewayPundit.com is very, very good.
You're going to hear something which I think you might not have read. If you have, I apologize.
It's not open phones today, Richie, but go ahead.
You're going to love this. A police report to the Gateway Pundit less than 20 hours ago had a big article. Major voter for...
Yeah. Now, I did, but, I mean, we got these other bombshells. I don't know why you're talking about that. It's even... All right. I'll tell you what, Richie. Get your own show, and you can decide what's more important. I'm sorry. This is even worse than what you're doing. This is what Richie just said. This is better than what you've been doing for the last 52 minutes. This story is better than what you've been doing for the last 52 minutes, Brian. Oh, my God. Gee whiz. You're on the air. Get your own show, Richie. You know, that's one of the, that's when you take calls screenless, that's what happens. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Victor, Silver Spring, Maryland.
Yes. I mean, I just before, hold on, Victor. I just want you to think about this. Let me put you on hold, Victor. Hold on. I apologize. I'll put you on hold. I have two stories that are this morning on the program that are Pulitzer Prize winning level stories, right? One, the judge in D.C. was a partner, not just an associate attorney as they've tried to pass off, a partner at the law firm that Hunter Biden worked at in D.C., right? So she was Hunter Biden's boss. As a partner, that means she's co-owner of the practice. And Hunter had Burisma as his big fish client. So she's a Burisma lawyer. She profited from... It's huge! Trump dropped a bombshell in his speech in New Hampshire saying this. Let me play it again. I like it best in the president's own words. Okay? This is, here we go.
And I probably have another one. They say there's a young woman, a young racist in Atlanta. She's a racist. And they say, I guess, they say that she was after a certain gang and she ended up having an affair with the head of the gang or a gang member.
Okay, that may be criminal. Because if what he says is true and charges she made or didn't make were influenced by this supposed affair, if it's... These are, and she's the one who's going to bring charges against this great president. These are massive stories. And then this is Richie. There's a really good, but I got something better. This is bigger. This is better. How would you feel if you were me in this kind of job? You'd be ticked off too. What a jerk. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Victor.
Oh, yeah, Victor. I'm sorry, Victor. What's up?
Okay, I like your idea of having this judge in D.C. removed and...
Well, and investigated, because this is what I want to find out. This is what I want to find out, okay? She should be recused immediately, but there needs to be a congressional investigation to find out if she got any Burisma money. How much money did she get from Burisma while they were a client of her firm that she was a partner in?
Okay, I got the phone number for the switchboard.
No, we don't give out numbers on the air, Victor. I don't know what... No, you can't do that. No. All right, thanks for the call. I'm sorry. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Cindy from Martin County. How are you?
Hey, Cindy from MAGA, Martin County. How you doing?
Yes. You know what's very telling is how quiet. It's very quiet with the local Republican parties across the state. Very, very telling.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that we need to go to our Republican committees in the state and confirm that they are MAGA.
Yes.
We want Donald Trump. I would say that I would encourage everybody in New Hampshire and Iowa to go to their local Republican Party and absolutely demand it.
Exactly.
I would say that would be a good idea.
Exactly.
Because they're working behind the scenes, and I'll give you an example. Mark Short, who used to work for Pence when he was in the White House, is nothing but a shill from the Koch brothers. These are the donors that are behind Pence that are also behind a lot of the other candidates, because we cannot have a populist go to the White House who wants to stop the border and absolutely,
Listen, we're being attacked by Mexico. Santa Ana never did anything like this. I mean, this is the largest invasion in U.S. history taking place.
Can I remind everybody, Brian? George H. Bush, George W. Bush, all of them. They wanted to do the North American Union, which is much like the European Union, where you open up the borders of Mexico and Canada and you build the highways and it's all good and everybody crosses from one country to another. Look at how it worked out over there in Europe. I mean, you know what? New York City is going to be the new Paris. Today I read, well, all the immigrants now, they don't know what to do with them. And in Massachusetts, they're having an alert. I say let's go to John Kerry, Nantucket, and they can go to Obama's house.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. By the way, I appreciate the call. We're up against the break, but thanks so much for the call. You know, it was we had a heat index yesterday of about 116 degrees. You see this? Oh man, and it was hot into the evening hours at my house, and I got to tell you. I had to do some stuff going in and out of the garage, and it was like, it made the house so hot. It made the house so hot, and then I got into bed, and I was the perfect temperature. You know why? Well, I have the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper 2.0 with cooling technology, which is a major upgrade on the original 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, and it cools your entire body. And the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper 2.0 is 40% off and free shipping with our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, at mypillow.com. I just bought one for my daughter out in California for her sleeper sofa so that when the grandparents go and visit, they got a nice, comfortable bed to sleep on, and I do too when I go and visit. And it makes a great gift too, and it fits fine on the sleeper sofa. I was concerned that it wouldn't be able to close with it on, and it's perfect on the sleeper sofa. So order your MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper 2.0 with cooling technology and be comfortable all summer long. It perfectly regulates your body temperature. All right, you can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right, callers on hold, stand by. We'll take our top of the hour break. We'll recap these beautiful stories, and then we'll sprinkle in some of the other ones I haven't touched on yet after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by the Canales Media Group. Broadcasting
No, you can't. A couple things. One, you can't have people calling in and giving out phone numbers on the air. People, if you start, not that I don't trust Victor, but then what happens? You get 10,000 people harassing somebody. People could give out a number to anyone. What if he got one digit wrong? And it's someone's house or business, right? No, you can't do that.
An excessive heat warning is up from 11 until 7 for our entire area. What that means is that it could feel
Can't do it.
110 and even up to 115 this afternoon. There's also a chance of some isolated strong storms. Under the PDF 25, first warning for your
And the thing with Richie, I mean, you know, tell me how you would feel. It's not even open phones today. Friday's open phones, and he knows damn well, you know. If you were on the air for about an hour going through huge stories, and then you take a call from Richie who says, yeah, you know, Brian, that's good, but this is better. This is what you should be doing. How would that make you feel? Exactly. I'm sleeping, so I missed it. What a, you know, just a. He's a bull in a china shop. He's just a, you know. 115 today? Oh my gosh.
At least it's going to be cooled down a little bit by some showers.
Yeah. Ugh. Well, you just can't call in and share info. You know? It's not open phones today. It is much harder than you think. You know, and then after the show, it's like running a marathon. So, like about an hour after the show, hour after the show, I like crash. Mm. I think, as amazingly difficult as this is to believe, the Joe Rogan having Trump on will be anticlimactic because Joe Rogan has put this on for so many years and he's put so many expectations. I just think it's going to be anticlimactic. Who really, I mean, who gives a shit what Joe Rogan asked Trump, right? I mean, really, does anybody care? I mean, I'm just not impressed. Right?
Is in custody in San Antonio. One ticket purchased at a grocery store in the Jacksonville suburb of Neptune Beach, Florida, won the entire $1.58 billion Mega Millions jackpot. This is ABC News.
Attorney Joe Cordell. Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. In the divorce process, this comes down to three key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell and Cordell's Miami
Exactly.
Legal services available in English and Spanish. Offices in Miami.
Exactly. I care. Yeah.
Cordell.com. Is the Florida resident partner, Joseph Cordell.
it's Scott Shannon here with a question. How would you like a free doorbell camera? You get a doorbell camera, you get a doorbell camera, and you get a doorbell camera. I wish we had them for everyone, but the first 40 true oldies channel listeners to call 833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with installation of your Sloman Shield. You can see your home right from the palm of your hand. And that's not all. Sloman's going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you have an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3-arm doors.
It looks easy because I'm so good at it. 3 hours. 3 hours. The show is. When I remember the first time I did a 3-hour talk show, the seconds were clicking by. When someone's excellent at what they do, it looks easy. It's not easy. And on top of that, it's not just all the work you got to put into the show. You got to deal with all these trolls and assholes like Richie, that are always working against you. You know what I mean? All right. All right. Oh, man. If you only saw and heard what went on during the breaks. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to do a very quick recap of the last hour and just huge stuff. Now, the first, President Trump gave an amazing speech in New Hampshire yesterday. An amazing speech. And there's a soundbite or two that the media are covering, the one about Chris Christie calling him fat, and it was another one, I forgot the other one. But the big thing that Trump said in New Hampshire, they're not covering. And I'm going to play it for you again. This is like the 5th time I played it this morning, and I'm going to continue to play it. This is President Trump in New Hampshire yesterday talking about the district attorney who's persecuting him in Atlanta and is expected to bring an indictment against him any day now.
And I probably have another one. They say there's a young woman, a young racist in Atlanta. She's a racist. And they say, I guess, they say that she was after a certain gang, and she ended up having an affair with the head of the gang or a gang member.
Wow. Okay. So he said this yesterday afternoon. Fani Willis is her name in Atlanta, this persecutor up there of President Trump. And the media aren't covering this clip. Now, Rolling Stone did a story on this where they interviewed some rappers and gangsters and stuff that she's worked for and defended and everything else. And they say it's not true. They got one quote in the Daily Mail saying, oh, no, there's another Fani Willis I was involved in. Now, listen, I know there's names that are common, but Fani Willis is not a common name. This guy that she defended just had another relationship that was not professional with someone with the same name. I don't know, but I do know this. That's huge. Now that's in Atlanta. In D.C., we find out that, and it's Fanny with an I. In D.C., we find out that the judge was not a co-worker of Hunter Biden's at the law firm in D.C. She was a partner, which means she's a co-owner of the law firm. Being a partner means you're like a partner in the business, the law firm business. He had a big fish client, Burisma, which is the Ukrainian company whose name is coming up in everything. So she's profited from Burisma. So we got a Burisma lawyer as a judge in D.C., an insane accusation by our great President Donald Trump against the Atlanta persecutor, Fani Willis. And this is huge stuff. Both of these people need to be removed and investigated. All right, let's take some calls. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian.
Yes, what's your name?
Oh, Jane. I'm from Louisiana.
Hey, Jane.
And I was curious to see what she looked like. She's a nice-looking lady. Anyway.
No, she's not an African lady. she's a black woman. You could call her African American, but she's not African. I mean, come on. Wait, hold on a second here. Hold on a second. One of the biggest charges, I'm not going to let that go. One of the biggest charges, excuse me, just don't run away. Don't run away. One of the biggest slanders against conservatives by the left is that we're racist, which is not true. So why would you call in and make a racist comment like that?
I didn't. I said I Googled her and I thought she was a nice looking lady.
You said African, I thought. You said good look. Did that sound like African to you? I don't know. Okay, go ahead. You say potato.
I didn't. Anyway, they had a little biography about her. And her father was a Black Panther member.
Oh my goodness. Really? You know, the Black Panthers were cop killers, you know. The Black Panthers murdered a bunch of cops out in Oakland, California. And when they weren't doing that, they were hijacking airplanes.
Her father was an attorney too, and he had a newspaper. He was big into, promoting, African American rights. Mm-hmm. Way back. And her maiden name is Floyd.
Like George.
Yes, I wonder if she has any.
Well, this is what I'm here to tell you. If what Donald Trump said was totally baseless, the media would expose it immediately to discredit him. They're always trying to discredit him. Always. And the very fact that they're not investigating or following up or even reporting it, to me, gives credibility to what he said. But her father being a black, I don't want to hold people responsible for their father's things, but the Black Panthers were domestic terrorists.
Yeah. So, anyway.
All right, take care. I'll go back and listen to that show and see what you said. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Credibility to waste.
Good morning.
Good morning. Jay from Jersey.
Don't you love how Jay, before you get to your thing, Jay, I love this move that Jay makes. I love this move he makes. Hear how he's got to clear his throat on the air. He doesn't even have the phone. How casual it is. Like it's no big deal for him to be on the air. He's really kind of bothered, and we're interrupting his life of loafing to do it. This whole thing. All right, go ahead. What's on your mind?
Okay, I'm going to tell you what I called about, but you're being a jerk as usual. You just talked about the women, and I noticed, and the only reason I'm calling in, if that woman wants to sleep with a gang member, what is that you or Trump's business? Who you sleep with, we don't care about. So what does it matter who she sleeps with?
Well, it is all of. Yeah, let me play the audio, and then we'll explain. Excuse me. No, I'm going to play the audio. Now you'll either be here while I do it or not and explain this. Okay, that's your choice. I would like you to be a part of the conversation. But if you're gonna act like this, I have your permission. Thank you. So this is the president yesterday, President Trump, talking about the Atlanta persecutor who's persecuting him, and I'll tell you why this is everyone's business. Okay, let's play it.
And I probably have another one. They say there's a young woman, a young racist in Atlanta. She's a racist, and they say that she was after a certain gang. And she ended up having an affair with the head of the gang or a gang member.
Okay, so she is if you're involved in a legal case, whether as a defender attorney or a prosecuting attorney, and you're involved in a sexual relationship with one of the people involved, including a client of yours, that's criminal. There have been attorneys that have gone to prison. There was one divorce attorney here in Florida who was very well known. He went to prison because he was having consensual sex with lady clients in divorce cases that he was representing. It's criminal.
I'm going to beg you to let me give a response. Are you going to let me? I'm serious. Are you going to let me give a response?
You're wasting time whining.
Okay, okay. My response to that about her having an affair, but you can see how this woman had an affair But you don't have no problem with the fact that the president's first indictment was...
What? What? Who was he having? Who did he have an affair with? Who did he have an affair with?
With the stripper, the prostitute, which is...
That's not criminal. That's not criminal.
That's not the point. The point of...
No. There's some things are criminal and corrupt, and others are not. No, and by the way, President Trump did not have sex with Stormy Daniels. That's not true. That is not true. No, the indictment and all those cases had to do with the payoff money. Those were like campaign finance things that they were going after him on. He did not have sex with her. Please, he's a germaphobe. He's going to have sex with a sex worker? I don't think so.
Why? His wife is a sex worker. What are you talking about?
Melania was not a sex worker. She's a model.
You was.
No.
About any YouTube video of her being...
Oh, so this is what you do? You pull up pornography online and watch pornography online, Jay?
You all know that...
So wait a minute. You watch pornography online? Is that what you do? You search up? Well, you talked about pulling up... Melania is a model. She's an international supermodel, not a sex worker.
Everywhere. She was a sex worker.
No, she was not.
Everybody can pull it up right now.
Maybe because the women of America, you're in Jersey, the women of Jersey have decided you're going to be celibate for life. Maybe you don't know what sex is.
She's swinging on a pole.
She's a model.
He was a model after...
But I don't understand what that has to do with Fani Willis having an affair with a gang member.
Because Trump was having an affair.
No, he didn't. No. Yeah. No. He did have one, and that was with Marla Maples, but no others. AJ, I'm gonna let you run. There's only one opening on the board. Oh man. All right, let's go. Let's see here. Who's next? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Doug.
Hey, Doug.
The internet corrupts people's minds, and this guy, what do you say, was so ridiculous. You know, this judge and these prosecuting attorneys, if this was in a movie 20 years ago, everybody said, get out of here, it's ridiculous, nobody could do it.
Yeah.
Here we are today. It's hard to believe. I mean, I don't know.
But it's true.
So, but it's true, man. It's really sick. The whole country is going. They even arrested a kid for reading the Bible in a park when they were having a transvestite show or something.
Oh.
The whole country's going nuts. I don't get it. You know.
Well, I get it. I got to run for the break. Thanks for the call. I get it. Democrats are running this country, and they have no moral compass. Okay, that's why. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, how you doing? It's Uncle Eddie from Uncle Eddie's. He wants to make an argument that that's what Trump got vetted for, but he's trying to give the attorney a pass for...
Because his whole world's falling apart. He's having a meltdown. He's having a meltdown. That's what's happened. Okay.
Listener cruise, and you're all invited, except Lubow. Lubow, you're not invited, but the rest of you are. We leave April 27th on board the Celebrity Beyond.
If you're on hold, hang in there.
Celebrity Cruises. We're going to the ABC Islands, Curacao, Bonaire, and Aruba. We have shore excursions at every port, and I'll be on them all with you. We'll have dinner together every night, private cocktail parties, we'll go to Broadway shows together, and dance till the clubs close every night. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot and book your reservation at 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779.
No, attorneys cannot have sex with clients. That's a big no-no. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, you can call in. Yeah, United's welcome to call in. I don't know who they are, but I don't know why everyone's telling you to call in. They must think you have something good. Oh! Power just flickered. Everything's still running, though.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldies.
The power just... All right. Now, Jay from Jersey, he was hysterical like a woman. Why was he so hysterical? Because his whole world's crashing down. We got these two cases with a corrupt judge possibly and a corrupt persecutor persecuting Trump in Atlanta. His whole world's coming apart. If you're on hold, stand by. There's only one opening on our very busy board at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. But it is hurricane season. It's hurricane season. And, oh man, was it raining and windy yesterday. If you have a wet spot in your ceiling, you've got a leak in your roof, okay? And you don't want to ignore that because you know what happens to a small leak, a small wet spot? It becomes a medium wet spot, right? And then what's next? And you got a big problem, right? Yeah, that's right, a hole in your roof. And Steve had a wet spot on his ceiling, just about the size of a quarter. He did nothing about it. And then what happened? It didn't just get bigger and bigger. He got another wet spot here, another wet spot there, a wet spot there, a wet spot here, and everywhere. And next thing you knew, he needed a whole new roof. He had deadly black mold infesting 40% of the drywall in his home, which had to be replaced. The dampness created a breeding ground for termites, so they were eating his house. And it cost Steve a pretty penny because he basically had to get his whole house rebuilt. Now, the house looks beautiful, and Tom Laporta did it all. Rebuilt Steve's house, and it looks beautiful. It's the showpiece of the street. But if Steve would have called Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting when he needed that, when he just saw that little wet spot on the ceiling, he probably would have just needed a simple repair, right? So Tom Laporta covers both the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. And he'll never sell you a roof you do not need. You hear any other roofing contractors say that? He will never sell you a roof you do not need. He's a good MAGA guy, and I'm going to give you his number right now. This number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602, and online, LaportaContracting.com. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Barbara. Boy, things are coming apart for these corrupt officials going after our president.
Absolutely. And then on top of that, there's been a big raid up in Michigan where they found all the...
I know Richie told me about that. I heard. Yeah, Richie said I should be talking about that instead of the things that have every line lit on the board, but, you know. Yeah. Yeah, oh yes.
Her sleeping with the gang member that she's supposed to be going after, that's just like the correction officers getting pregnant by the guys in jail. I mean, come on.
Lawyers go to jail for having sex with clients. It's not allowed.
Well, and doctors can lose their life.
Well, also she's now a prosecutor, which means she's the top cop in Fulton County. So if she's involved in a relationship with a criminal, which is a gang member, she's compromised. I mean, how can you be a cop when you're having an affair with a criminal if it's true?
Well, I think it's true, and she's complicit. I haven't heard any rebuttal to what President Trump said. And speaking of President Trump, that was a fantastic speech yesterday. Don't you just love it when the man says, all I need is one more indictment?
I love it. Oh, yeah.
The only man that can do that and come out like he's really serious.
Well, and it looks like he's on the offense. This story about Fani Willis in Atlanta, he's investigating the investigators.
There you go. And she needs to be investigated. And he was right in calling her a racist. And I don't know where that got the person that you call from. Is he from New Jersey? I think
Jay.
Have water there. They got a problem with water, and you know what that does as far as brain cells.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very pleased with how things are going right now.
Oh, yes.
It's unfortunate that Democrats they've pushed the envelope way beyond where it needs to go, and President Trump is going to come out of this thing with 100 to 120 million votes in 2020.
Oh, yeah.
Wait to go vote for him.
Oh, yeah, this is great stuff. And I saw President Trump yesterday. He didn't look like he had a worry in the world, did he?
No, he was great. I mean, I said, I'm trying to figure out whether or not he had a little work done. I said, no, he didn't have any work done. The man's relaxed. He operates better at this rate. This is how we are. I'm a New Yorker. You put the pressure on us, and we're going to come after you. And we're going to prove you wrong. That's how it's got to be. And that's how he is.
That's right.
Got a job with him when I got out of high school. I got big in there now.
Yes, you would. All right, Barbara, I got to run. Barbara in Baltimore. Call us on hold. Stand by. I went long in that first segment, so I'm going to take this break on time, so we'll be on schedule for the rest of the program. Call us on hold. Don't go anywhere. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Huge, major breaking news on the program today that we're discussing. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. We'll take our bottom-of-the-hour break and be back right after this.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. An excessive heat warning is up from 11 until 7 for our entire area. What that means is that it can feel like between
It's back.
110 and even
Yeah.
up to 115 this afternoon. There's also a chance
Yeah.
of some ice
Yeah, it's
and
back.
strong storms. I'm WPDF 25, first warning meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture, Route 170 Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach.
It's like if it was raining, I would understand that power flavor, but it's sunny outside.
Yeah. Well, maybe because everyone has their air conditioning on. That does it sometimes, too. I'm surprised the computers didn't go out.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
The last time we had a power outage, we were out of the radio, the computers, everything for like an hour and a half.
Do you know? Can you reboot everything? Or,
It depends. It depends how it goes off. Because last time, like me and when I was working at Birdman, like we were in the dark, like the whole building.
oh my gosh!
We couldn't reboot anything. The building was off. They had to
Wow.
the electric company to turn it.
Wow.
Like I think we got the last like 30 minutes.
The computer screens didn't even flicker.
Oh yeah, they stayed.
I was shocked. I don't. Yeah.
That's like tricky. I was like, okay.
Well, I'm wondering if they got a power supply hooked up.
That could be it.
You know?
Something like that did happen.
Yeah.
Because it did start and then just stayed.
Mm-hmm.
Big screens,
Yeah, when the power went out, the radio equipment didn't blink, which is unusual.
Are you exhausted after work with no energy left in the tank to give your family? Are you having a midday crash on a daily basis? Women, are menopause symptoms like hot flashes, anxiety, and depression making your daily life feel far more difficult than it should? Men, do you feel like you're aging far beyond what you should? Is your sexual...
No, I think they have a power supply connected to the radio equipment, because the radio equipment didn't flicker when everything else, when the lights did.
We use all natural hormone optimization therapies with precision...
The phones flickered and cleared out the phone lines, but the radio board and computers and everything didn't. No, it's not storming. But sometimes when it's super, super hot and everyone's got their air conditioning on, that can cause problems too.
6642, or visit us at lighthousemedicalcenter.com to schedule your consultation today.
Hi, this is Gabriel with Florida Cash Home Buyers. Are you looking to sell your home without the stress of a bunch of strangers walking through your home and having to make all kinds of repairs? If you want to sell your home fast and easy without
great stories. I haven't even gotten to hardly anything because these first two stories are just so good.
7070. We follow all social distancing guidelines and can make you a cash offer over the phone without having to visit your home. We'll do our absolute best to make your home selling experience as easy and enjoyable as possible. You can even get a $10,000 cash advance before the closing and stay in your home after the closing, so you don't need to worry about quickly moving out. Whether you have a damaged fixer-upper home or a beautiful home that doesn't need any repairs, we can buy it. If you want to sell your home fast and easy, call us today for a free offer. 561-570-7070.
Ugh, that's awful.
That's 561-570-7070.
My daughter said it's hot in California right now. She's a little surprised. It's her first summer living out there.
My husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day, the buy one get one free, and they're our first My Pillows, and we love them. We absolutely love them. They're just absolutely marvelous. Yeah, I'm so glad. I got slippers on the way too.
Go to mypillow.com and use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and buy your My Pillow 2.0. Right now, buy one, get one free. You can also order by phone, toll free, 800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane. Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. This is Brian Craig, and I'm going to tell you about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. at the Biostation West LA.
I don't mind the weather at all. I don't mind it.
What it does is restore your hormones to where
I think it's great.
you'll feel younger, you'll have more energy, you'll get your sex drive back, and women, hormone replacement pellet therapy.
That's why I don't even own socks. I have like 2-3 pairs of socks that I have just if I have to dress up. I got a pair of brown socks and a couple of pair of black socks that I wear when I got to dress up. And I don't even wear socks. I mean, it's Florida. Oh, they are. I do wear the My Pillow slippers at home, I must say. I love the My Pillow slippers.
Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez when you tell him you heard about him on the radio. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
I don't like the cold. I do not like the cold.
Your first thought is what? Uh-oh, I'm coming down with something. But did you ever think you might not be sick? You might have an allergy. Find out and have your allergies tested at any lab test now of Coral Springs, or any lab test now of Boca, any lab test now of Coral
All right, we're coming back after this.
At 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Englewood by the Coral Square Mall. Give them a call.
That's why I like this part of Florida the best. When you get north of Fort Pierce, you're no longer in the tropics like where Disney World is. That's not the tropics. It gets cold in the winter. And they don't have sea breeze. We've got sea breeze here from the ocean. I couldn't live inland. I'd be feel like claustrophobic. Oh, I know so many people, nurses. They work like in 2 different ERs at different hospitals. They're so short. All right. Oh, what a great day. We are celebrating. Let's take a call or two, then I'll recap, and then I'll get into some new stuff. But, just great news today. Don't worry, if you're just tuning in, I'll recap. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff. Oh, what a great day it is.
Yes, it is. You know, at the least, it's a conflict of interest with that judge, but is it not criminal that somebody in that authority or the prosecutor is having a relationship with a gang member, possibly a leader?
Yeah. Well, we've got two. I'll recap with while I got Jeff on the line. Okay. Now let's first start in D.C. And the D.C. judge. Now remember, she was an Obama donor. So and then he appointed her to a judgeship. That right there, I don't even know how that's allowed. But anyway, we find out that she wasn't just another attorney at the Hunter Biden law firm. She was a partner, which means she's a co-owner of the firm. So Hunter Biden worked for the judge in D.C. because she was a partner. Number two, Hunter's big fish client was Burisma, the Ukrainian company whose name keeps coming up. So that means she's made money off of Burisma. So but with all those conflicts right there, not only should she be recused from the case, I think she should be investigated, because how could she allow herself to preside over a case with such conflict?
I was just going to say that. Why isn't every case she's ever rendered verdicts on with gang-related?
Oh no, the gang is Atlanta. So that's the D.C. judge. Okay, so now yesterday, President Trump gave a speech in New Hampshire, which I don't even think Newsmax carried. It was not televised. I saw it on Right Side, and for some strange reason, Right Side carried it, but they weren't there. Brian Glenn from Right Side was like in an office somewhere else. It was a little strange. But anyway, President Trump in New Hampshire, I'll play the clip, said this about the district attorney who's bringing charges against him in Atlanta, Georgia.
And I probably have another one. They say there's a young woman, a young racist in Atlanta. She's a racist. And they say, I guess they say that she was after a certain gang, and she ended up having an affair with the head of the gang or a gang member.
So this is interesting. So was at the President Trump, Jeff, I don't know of a time when President Trump has made an accusation about an individual that was not true. Do you?
No, and it seems like he was sending them a message.
Yeah.
You know, he said that publicly. He would never say something that was slanderous or untrue.
Yeah, and now this is now when we go back to it. Let me go back to it because this is. Let's listen.
And they say, I guess they say that she was after a certain gang.
After a certain gang. So what he's saying here is while she was a prosecutor. So this is okay. So a prosecutor is like a police officer, right? They're law enforcement. So when he says after, that means as a prosecutor.
And they say, I guess they say that she was after a certain gang, and she ended up having an affair with the head of the gang or a gang member.
So if that's criminal, Jeff. If it's true.
That was she getting paid off? I'll bet you she was getting paid off on certain stuff.
Well, we don't know. He didn't say. But if you are, if she's a defense attorney, there's problems. Okay. But the way that President Trump worded it is as a prosecutor, she was after a certain gang and had an affair, which means was having sex with a gang member or leader of that gang. So that's something that is criminal just if there was just sex, but if she did anything favorable to the individual, there's all kinds of legal if this is true. And I've just never known President Trump to say something about someone that was untrue before. So and the media's reaction, they're not going to her and asking her to comment on it.
If it wasn't true, wouldn't she press charges against him for saying lies?
Listen, if that were me, and that's right. If that were me, I would have been on television and screaming at the top of my lungs, "He is a liar! He is a liar! That is not true!" And she's not. And the press don't seem to want to go and investigate this because, well, they must think it's possible. Or know it's true, one or the other.
Why aren't the Republicans in Georgia investigating it?
Well, the speech in New Hampshire was not televised and was not widely viewed as a normal speech. Right Side carried it. It was at 2:30 in the afternoon on a Tuesday, and not many people saw it. I can't swear to this, but someone told me that Newsmax didn't carry it. I'm not sure if they carried it or not because I was watching it online. But so there's a clip about him calling Chris Christie fat. That's all over the news. And there's another clip from it that's all over the news. But this one's not. But it wasn't, I don't think a lot of people know about it, the speech.
Well, it's not like Chris Christie could deny that.
Well, no, Chris Christie couldn't deny that. But I'm screaming from the rafters here about this clip. That, to me, that's the news from that speech. Out of everything from that speech, that's the big takeaway.
But I still say, where are the Republicans standing up for President Trump, the leader of our movement and party?
That's right. Hey, Jeff, I appreciate the call. Thanks so much. Now, Mike Pence is a real dope. Okay, have you seen this new ad? I'm going to play you the audio. Mike Pence, who I think is just a creep. I've always been creeped out by Mike Pence. When President Trump first picked him, I always said I do not like Mike Pence. He just seems phony to me, too wooden. You can't see his real personality. He's just creepy to me. And it took a while, but the rest of you finally caught on to me on that. So Pence is trying to act like he's a regular guy. So he has this new ad. He's in a pickup truck. I don't even know if it's his. But he drives up to a gas station and in a pickup truck and pretends to pump gas. And I'm going to play you the audio of this. He's not pumping gas. He's pretending. And while he's talking, this is an ad that they released. The idiots in the Pence campaign. You hear a beeping in the background during the Pence commercial. It's the gas pump telling him to start pumping because he took the handle off and the nozzle is in his gas tank. Listen to this. This is Pence, his fake ad, pretending to pump gas in a pickup truck.
Hey everybody, Mike Pence here. Remember $2 a gallon gas? I do. And then Joe Biden became president of the United States and launched his war on energy. Since that time, gasoline prices are up 60%.
You can hear it's faint in the background, but hear that beeping? But he's a liar because he's pretending to pump gas. What an idiot.
His war on energy. Since that time, gasoline prices are up 60%. Electricity prices are up 25%. Joe Biden's war on energy is causing real hardship for working families, small businesses, and family farms. But we've got a plan to relieve all of that. We just unveiled the Pence energy plan that'll not only put our...
Now, beware of anyone who refers to themselves as we. That's what megalomaniacs do. It's called the royal we. When Mike Pence says we, he means I or me.
Farms. But we've got a plan to relieve all of that. We just unveiled the Pence energy plan that'll not only put our country back on a path to energy independence, but by 2040 we will reclaim America's role as the leading producer of energy in the world. Join us in the fight for American energy leadership by going to MikePence2024.com. We can lead the world once again to a more prosperous and a secure future for America with energy independence and American energy leadership.
Okay, and the beeping gets louder as it goes on, but he's pretending the whole time to be pumping gas, which he's not doing. Oh my goodness. What an idiot. And he's got the Pence energy plan. I've got an energy plan. It's a simple plan. This is the Brian Craig energy plan. Right now, I remember not just $2 gas. I remember it less than that. On President Trump's last day in office, I filled my car up on the way to Mar-a-Lago to see the great president on the last couple of minutes of his first term. And yeah, it was a great day. And yesterday, I got gas on the way to work. It was $4 a gallon. I took a picture, put it on my Instagram. I was so ticked off. $3.99 and 9.99. So I'm rounding up to 4. On President Trump's last morning in office, the last day of his first term, I filled up my car. It was $1.57 a gallon. $1.57 a gallon. And I made note of it at the time. I know it's crazy. But Mike Pence has an energy plan. He doesn't even know how to pump gas. He's got the beeping going on. This is the Brian Craig energy plan to make gas affordable again. Vote Trump. That's it. That's the energy plan. He'll do it. We were the #1 exporter and producer of oil in the world when he was in his first term, and he'll make us that again. All right, callers on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Back after this.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. Tom Laporta will give you a free evaluation.
Oh.
Laporta Contracting was voted one of
What
the
a
best
great day of
general
news.
contractors.
You like that plan? That's the plan. Yeah.
He's honest, knowledgeable, and reliable.
It's a simple plan. Vote Trump.
Roof you don't need. If you have an insurance claim, call your insurance company immediately. Then call Tom Laporta. New laws are in effect that allow Tom to negotiate directly with your insurance company on the cost of all repairs, so you don't necessarily need to employ a public adjuster or a lawyer. Tom can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere. From dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the
all the time. And many
approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? Maybe you do and you don't even know it. Do you have numbness, pain, burning, or tingling in your hands and feet? Muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching. Are you not sleeping? Does it feel like pins and needles in your hands and feet? Maybe you
If you're new, make sure you subscribe, everyone. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And everyone, please like the video. I'm going to go back to the phones when we get back. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I mean, if you heard the beeping, wouldn't you redo the commercial so that there wasn't beeping going on? A normal person would. That's how incompetent and stupid he is. Hey, Sherry, welcome. That royal we thing is total narcissism. That's a narcissist. When someone uses we instead of me or I.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now, the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right. Yes, yes. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. We'll go back to the phones in a moment. You know, the countdown has begun. April 27th, we leave for our 5th annual MAGA cruise with our great listeners. And all of you are invited, except Liberal Al, of course. And that's not a joke. I know it's funny in the commercial, but that's true. Okay, he is on. It's a private group, and he is not allowed in it. But we're going to the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. We are sailing out of Fort Lauderdale's Port Everglades, a beautiful port on the Celebrity Beyond, which is the flagship of Celebrity Cruise Lines. It's their newest, greatest ship, and we have shore excursions at every port. And in fact, at one port, we have 2 shore excursions, and I will be on them all with you. And we have dinner together every night. We party all night long until the bars close. We get up in the morning and have coffee and breakfast together. We just have lunch together. We just on-board activities. We just have a great time. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot and join us. Okay, it's April 27th we leave. But you want to reserve your spot now. They've got some great specials going on in the month of August, and this ship is filling up. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. 5779. That's 561-244-5779 for Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Lisa in Texas.
Hey, Lisa.
I'm on my way to work, but I had to call because as I was leaving, you were playing the part of Pence pumping gas, okay, and complaining.
Pretending to pump gas.
Pretending to pump gas. I stand corrected. And he's an idiot because he was the one who didn't send the votes back. You might remember.
Yeah.
Could be the reason that Trump did not get elected.
Well, and when you're doing a commercial that is going to air on television and all over the internet, and there's a beeping sound in and you don't redo the commercial without the beeping, as petty as that sounds, that goes to the competence level of the person, and only a stupid person would allow and say, "Oh, we better do another take."
Yeah, this is a man who hasn't pumped gas in years.
Obviously.
Driven around and chauffeured around, and he's an elitist, and we know that he's part of the swamp and the globalist community. He's a fool for running. I mean, let's face it.
What you would do with a situation like that is you would time the message to the length of time it takes to fill up the tank, so you're actually doing it, and then you put the pump back up. But he's too stupid. That I could hear. Maybe it's just me, but all I could hear was the beep in the background.
Right. Yeah. The man, and the fact that he did give up the ghost.
Yeah. All right, Lisa. Take care. Have fun at work. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Bill from Sanford.
Hey, Bill.
What I don't understand is that in all the Trump speeches that I watched, he doesn't go after Pence, and if he mentions Pence, and the crowd starts booing, he like that, and I don't know if that changed Pence.
No, there's okay. Go finish up. And I'll tell you why he does that.
He just recently said that maybe it wasn't.
No. This is what. This is why. Okay, if he look at the anger people have just on the phones this morning with Pence. Okay, people get very heated about Pence and get out of control and say and do things that are inappropriate. Okay, so that's why he cools it off. Same reason I do it, because if I started taking more calls on Pence, you're like the third caller I've had on Pence, and everyone gets more and more angry and heated than the one before. So you can't play into these stupid people's hands. That's why he does it.
Well, can I bring up something else?
We'll see. I got a lot here to get into. It's not open phones are on Friday, so.
Florida wondering about Jack Smith. Another. Grand jury.
Okay, yeah, I talked about that on the show yesterday, but I'm happy to recap because that's a big one. This great judge in Fort Pierce, Florida, that's overseeing the documents case, just reprimanded Jack Smith and his corrupt team of persecutors. Notice I'm not calling them prosecutors anymore. They have a secret grand jury looking into the documents case somewhere else in America outside of the district of that federal court, which is the Southern District of Florida. So what happened is they got a good judge here in Florida. They know they don't have a cooperating judge like this Burisma judge in D.C., so they're trying to bring an indictment from a grand jury in another district to get a better judge for their case. They're judge shopping, and that she did not think that was appropriate. She was very upset about it.
Well, I hope she does something about him because he needs to be disbarred.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be unethical. I mean, it seems like a definite disbarment type offense or a suspension or some type of discipline. Hey, appreciate the call. Now, CNN yesterday had a black Republican guy on I'd never seen before, young black Republican on, and they say he's a Republican strategist. I've never heard of him nor seen him before, but this was a black Republican on CNN yesterday talking about Trump.
I mean, look, Laura, that's true. I travel the country all the time, and many Republican voters view themselves as pawn in an overall political game. It's not just Democrats that they dislike and distrust. It's the Republican establishment that they dislike and distrust. And to that very salient point, Donald Trump, for them, is their final arbiter against this entire political mechanism that is against them, these elites, these highly educated individuals, telling them how they should live their lives, telling them what is best for them.
Wow, I don't know who this guy is, but Trump should look into him and maybe do some research, and if he passes the test, hire him. Because this guy is a Republican, they say he's a Republican strategist, and he's the only pundit I've seen on TV in a long time giving analysis about the MAGA movement that's accurate, right? I mean, that is very accurate analysis of the entire MAGA movement, and that guy's pretty good. So I don't know enough about him to say that Trump should hire him, but he should definitely be looked at and possibly be considered for a position on the Trump campaign, because that guy is smart. All right, our number is 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Okay, now there's we got to talk about Ron DeSantis' campaign, because it's not going to be around much longer. I mean, they're struggling. Some major negative news for Ron DeSantis. Now, I'm sure you heard he fired his campaign manager yesterday. That's not the problem, Ron. You're the problem, okay? You're the problem. I love how this guy thinks that the campaign manager's the problem. No, it's you. It's you. And, I mean, he's fired maybe about 3/4 of his staff. I know he fired half recently, but he fired a bunch of people a few weeks before that, okay? And that is a sign of a failing campaign. His donors, his big money donors that are looking for an exit strategy, told him that they're going to cut off funding if he doesn't start acting normal, which is a very strange thing to say. So he's fired 3/4 of his campaign staff. His donors are threatening to drop him. Right, he fired his campaign manager, and then listen to this. Ron DeSantis has fallen to single digits in New Hampshire, one of 3 states his campaign is primarily focusing on, according to the latest poll. The latest poll asked Republican primary voters, if the 2024 Republican primary election for President of the United States was held today, who would you vote for? Listing most of the GOP presidential wannabes. President Trump is the top dog in the Granite State with 43% of the vote in the field. No other candidate comes remotely close or breaks double digits. Both DeSantis and Chris Christie tie for second with 9% support each. So Ron DeSantis is officially in the single digits at 9%. Donald Trump is at 43%. So that means that Trump is 34 points ahead. Think about this. I'm closer to DeSantis than he is to Trump. Think about that. I'm only 9 points behind DeSantis in New Hampshire. This is significant, I'm reading from Breitbart, as it shows that DeSantis, despite his campaign's latest effort, is failing to resonate with Republican voters in New Hampshire, despite devoting significant time and resources to the state. Well, I would argue this. He's doing so poorly because the people are getting to know him. You know, why is he's done nothing but nosedive in the polls in New Hampshire and Iowa. South Carolina too, but the main focus has been Iowa and New Hampshire. He hasn't really been in Florida much. He's been living in New Hampshire and Iowa. He's met I don't know how many people in the last few months in both of those states. People meet him and they don't like him. The reason he's going down in the polls is because people don't like him. This story here is amazing with his donors. Let me pull this up. I wasn't going to go through this story, but listen to this. Rich donors to Ron DeSantis. Be more normal. That's right. Some Republicans think Ron DeSantis is the party's best hope at dethroning Donald Trump. What kind of Republican wants to dethrone a guy that's like at 70%? With his polling numbers stuck far below Trump's, DeSantis has been facing blowback from big donors who think maybe he's not the GOP savior. No, Donald Trump is. The latest contributor to get the jitters is Las Vegas hotel magnate Robert Bigelow, who has been DeSantis' biggest donor so far, giving him $20 million. Bigelow recently told Reuters he would hold off giving DeSantis any more money for the time being. DeSantis needs to shift to get more moderates, Bigelow told Reuters. Extremism doesn't get you elected. He cited just one policy, it goes on. Other donors are saying he's got to act more normal. I don't have time for this next one. Laura Loomer uncovered something on DeSantis that shows how corrupt he is. It'll seem minor, but it doesn't. It's not minor. I'll see if I can pull that out, because I saw that a few days ago, and I've been meaning to mention it. But we got to talk about DeSantis, because we're not going to have DeSantis to talk about too much longer. The campaign after this debate on Fox News looks like it's faded away. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Our number, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are listening to us. We'll take our break for the top of the hour, and we'll come back with your calls and much more after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by
Hold on, let me see if I can find this story.
from the Robe Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700.
This was a story from like 2 or 3 days ago.
From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created. Here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. An excessive heat warning is up from 11 until 7 for our...
I'm going through all the stories I read that I think I might talk about on the podcast or the radio or something, I tweet. That's my stack of stuff. So I'm going through my feed.
Police activity now cleared from the right lane. Delays subsiding on the approach to the scene. I-95 is still in pretty good shape this morning. Accident free. We're seeing some light delay though onto the southbound side, passing Lake Worth Road and Boynton Beach Boulevard. To the north, we're literally passing 45th Street. Also on West Palm District, Matter Street is still closed from Dixie Highway to Olive Avenue. Take Banyan Boulevard instead. This report is sponsored by AirAmericaAC.com. For your trust in the red, white, and blue, Air America. Save now, pay later. Air America is offering 12 months with no payments and no interest on new AC units. Visit AirAmericaAC.com for details. That's traffic. I'm Chris Barr.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. PBKC is the county's only OTB location featuring betting action from top horse tracks including Saratoga, Del Mar, and more. Visit our incredible paddock restaurant with over 180 new HD TVs, big screens, exceptional eats, wine, and full bar. The paddock is also
Okay, here it is.
for special events, comedy, music, and dinner shows. For a full schedule of upcoming shows, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Okay, I found it. This looks like a minor story, but it shows you how dangerous Ron DeSantis is. Laura Loomer came up with this. This was like 3 days ago, and I just haven't gotten to it. And there's so many other stories, I probably should recap my big stories before I bring up this one, but it's important. This show has flown by. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. This is the most pro-Donald Trump place you'll find anywhere. Oh, Luna is loving it. Yeah, she's starting to get more normal. Luna's our new cat. She's, she was a stray. So she's got some stray tendencies she's learning. Anytime it rains, she hides under something because she thinks she's going to get wet. That's a big thing. She didn't know how to use kitty litter, which she now knows how to use. But she's getting more normal. More house catty. And she's gained some weight. Still fattening her up, though. She was so skinny. I was just going to do this commercial, and the record is running. And my daughter took her cat to California. She's loving it out there. She's really tight with my daughter, the cat, you know. She was missing her. I don't think she has any idea she's on the complete opposite side of the entire continent. But that was the name she had when we got her, Luna. My brother-in-law named her. I like the name, too. All right. All right. Now, before I recap the lead stories of the day about the D.C. judge and the Atlanta persecutor, Fani Willis. That's the persecutor in Atlanta. Before I recap that, I want to finish up on DeSantis, because Laura Loomer uncovered something that'll seem petty about Ron DeSantis a few days ago, but it shows you how dangerous he is as a public official. Now, his campaign's falling apart, right? As I said right before the top, his big donors are dropping out. He fired his campaign manager. He's fired like most of his staff. He's fired. It's falling apart for him, right? Listen to this story, and I probably shouldn't even do this story because I should recap those big ones, but I want to share this because it shows you how dangerous Ron DeSantis could be. Listen to this. I'm going to read a tweet from Laura Loomer a few days back. Laura Loomer, she wrote this: I have been digging through Ron DeSantis' FEC reports and have discovered that the lobbyist for Elon Musk's company Tesla donated $1,000 to Ron DeSantis' presidential campaign on June 24th. Tesla's lobbyist is named Christina Bowerowski. According to her LinkedIn, she's the senior policy advisor on federal policy for Tesla. So she's a big deal, right? She's one step away from Elon Musk. Then Laura Loomer goes on. If you recall, Ron DeSantis kicked off his campaign by doing a Twitter space, which was a complete disaster, wasn't it? Oh, man. With Tesla founder and owner Elon Musk the same day he filed to run for president. Why does this matter? Well, less than 1 month after he filed to run for president, and 1 week before this lobbyist for Tesla donated to DeSantis' campaign, DeSantis signed HB 637, a bill in Florida banning direct auto sales, with an exception made for Tesla. The bill went into effect on July 1st. It bans most direct-to-consumer vehicle sales, which is the business model for Tesla. So here's the timeline. May 24th, Elon Musk, the owner of Tesla, hosts the kickoff campaign with DeSantis. June 13th, DeSantis makes the exception for Tesla when he signs that bill into law. And then June 24th, Tesla's lobbyist made a campaign donation to Ron DeSantis. It really gives a whole new meaning to greasing the wheel, pun intended, hashtag bought and paid for, tweeted Laura Loomer. So with this, let me explain what this means. It's a little cerebral and technical for what I would normally go through, but I think it's important. If you go and buy a Kia or a Toyota, you can't go directly to Kia or Toyota to buy the car. You got to go to the dealer. And Laura Loomer, what she's exposed here is Ron DeSantis signed a law banning auto manufacturers from making direct sales without the middleman dealer to individuals, except to a campaign donor who did his launch on Twitter, except for Tesla. Is that a pay-for-play, do you think? Is that a sign of things to come? Is this the smoke-filled backroom deal-making kind of business? Is it just a coincidence? You know, I believe one of the major reasons he's running for president is for a financial future beyond what he currently has. He's not a wealthy man. But boy, his wife's got expensive taste, and they want to be wealthy. And when he's doing something like this, even if it's not sketchy, he should say, wait, we got to hold off on this because it'll look bad. The fact that they didn't put the brakes on this just shows what would he do at the big level. Look what we got with Biden. Everything's pay for play. We're in a proxy war with Russia in Ukraine for pay for play. So when you've got someone who's doing pay for play, you do not want to send them to any office. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, it's Al.
Liberal Al. Yes.
Look, days, huh? Ohio. How about that vote?
What are you... See, this is why you're not invited on our cruise. What are you talking about?
You don't know about the vote?
It is not open phones today, Al.
Trump will be under house arrest because of contempt of court, because he won't be able to keep his mouth shut. They're having a meeting on Friday to discuss the protection order, and he's not going to listen.
Yeah.
I know.
Let me ask you. Now you've been calling this show for longer than I've been a part of it, right? Okay, you've been calling Steve Kane's show for a long time, and I won't take this personally. I'm going to ask you a question. I want an honest answer from you, and I won't take it personally. If you know, were you listening to the show before you called? Yes or no? That's a no. That's a no. Okay, yes or no. What have I been talking about this morning? What have I been talking about this morning?
The DeSantis campaign falling apart.
No, that's what I was talking about while you were on hold. What was I talking about earlier in the show? I was talking about that while you were on hold. Other than when you were on hold, what else was I talking about other than DeSantis?
Well,
if you weren't listening, I'd be kind of relieved, you know. Now, if you weren't listening, I won't be offended.
Nonstop. Other times I do take care of business, and I miss parts of the show.
What kind of business are you? What does that mean? You're on the toilet? What do you mean you're taking care of business?
I'm writing scripts for you.
You're writing scripts? You're a script writer? Are you who are you writing a script? Read me grab one of the scripts right now. Pull it up on your phone and read it to me.
I'm not near the laptop.
No. You got the class. Go get it. I'll hold on. Go get the laptop. I want to hear one of these scripts. Steve's going to kill me. Steve is going to kill me for doing this. No. Where's your laptop?
It's about 50 feet away.
Oh, go get it. Go get it. I'll do a spot while you go and get it. I won't even go get the laptop, and I've got to do a spot, and by the time I'm done with the spot, you'll be back with the laptop, and you can read the script.
No, I'll send you the video.
No, I don't want you to send me the video. We're on the air. I'm going to do a spot. I'm going to keep you on the air while I'm doing the spot. Walk and get your laptop and pull up the latest script you've written for someone, and when I'm done with the spot, you can read the script. Sound good? Oh, you hear him take that deep breath? He's getting nervous. Why don't you just admit you're a liar? That might be easier.
I said turned off. I got to open up.
All right, okay. I'm going to listen, I'm going to talk about the free doorbell camera offer from Sloman's. Okay? So while I'm talking about the free doorbell camera offer, power up the laptop, pull up the script, and but don't talk while I'm doing the spot, even though I'm going to keep you on, because I want to hear you suffer. Okay. All right. Now listen. The Sloman's free security system and free doorbell camera offer with professional installation is back for a very limited time, and if you're one of the first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283 5050, 1-833-283-5050, you'll get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman Shield. You'll be able to see your home no matter where you are in the world right from the palm of your hand. Also, Sloman's, they're going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You're going to get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 listeners who call, 1-833-283-5050, let me give out the number an extra time so Al can buy more time to figure out how he's going to work his way out of this. 1-833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's right now. This is a limited time offer. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. All right, Al, read the script.
You don't have to do another commercial because I had to go across the 50 feet into the house and get the. I just got the guy to get back with my hands.
Okay, now, no. I'm here for 45 more minutes. I'm going to put you on hold and check back with you. Steve is going to kill me. Steve is going to kill me for doing this. I'm going to put you on hold and check back in. By the way, the script that you're searching for, what's it about? Since you wrote it, you should at least know the topic.
Yeah, macroeconomics.
Macaroni economics?
Macroeconomics.
What define macroeconomics? Oh my goodness. Oh, now here comes the cell phone problems. Oh my goodness, the cell phone problem. All right. We'll be right back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, how you doing? It's Uncle Eddie from Uncle Eddie's Restaurante. Listen up, for all the locals out there, it's time for a deal. Half price entrees? Yep, you heard me right. 50% off all dinners from 4 to 6, Wednesday through Sunday. And 20% off the whole entire menu to go, including the best thin crust pizza in town.
He could have written a script. He's probably on ChatGPT he's trying to get ChatGPT to write a script about macroeconomics. That's probably what he's doing.
Where else are you going to go and have the owner sing for you? Come down to Uncle Eddie's, 561-508-7799. Hurry up in.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about our family dentist at the
Yeah,
Kane
wow.
household, Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. From cleanings to implants, he does it all. We love Dr. Gupta at our household because he takes the pain and the anxiety out of dental work, all at an affordable price. Call Dr. Gupta at 954-922-4633.
Oh, yeah.
Tell him Steve sent you.
But not anymore, it's all gone, thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain system. I'm in studio right now with Dr. Appleton. Dr. Appleton, how'd you do it?
Unbelievable.
Treatment is simple and no side effects. I have robotic lasers that have a wonderful effect on joint pain. These are all FDA approved.
Now, you don't just help with these. Tell the listeners what other areas you can help them with.
Any joint I can do, shoulder pain, hip pain, sciatica, stenosis, arthritis, tendonitis, bursitis.
Exactly.
Foot all the way up to the neck.
Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician, and with the laser away pain system, there's no injections, no surgery, and no drugs.
Well, thank you, Beverly. Great show today, just today. Aren't they all great, Beverly?
Call right now for your free consultation. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Make sure to tell Dr. Appleton you heard about
Oh, well, thank you. Welcome.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious, crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside, everything homemade, nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
Hi, this is Keith Singer of Singer Wealth. If you own a retirement account,
not only do you need to make smart investment choices,
I'm going to say on the air that he's using ChatGPT to write a script, because he may not be watching on YouTube.
but you have to use the right strategies to learn about these.
Oh no, Divine Reset. What do you? Divine Reset probably is Richie.
To 474747. Text the word tax report to 474747 so you and your family can keep as much of your IRA as possible.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.
Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian.
Yes, you're on the air.
Hey, it's Ivy and Broward. Good morning.
Hey.
I'm going to go in the reverse here, how I was going to say something, but since Al was the last guy, I mean, wow, man, look at what we're dealing with. I mean, how old is him? I feel like Jay and George are becoming like him. They're never going to change. These guys are lost cause. We cannot change their minds when the facts are slapping them in the face.
Well, there's an old saying: you can't fix stupid.
Yeah, okay. As for the judge, Jay, as for the judge, Trump can sleep with 100 women. It doesn't matter. He's a civilian. It has nothing to do with the politics and the intricacies of being lawyers and attorney generals and Supreme Court justices and senators and so forth and House representatives. The difference is they're supposed to go by a code, the bar code. The bar says certain things in their wording about ethics, moral. It's in the code. She cannot attempt to prosecute a gang, a bunch of people, and become involved with them in any way at all. Therein lies the conflict. It doesn't matter if she sleeps with him, yes, but it does matter in the fact of the position that she is in, the position that she holds. The difference is Trump can do what he wants. He's a civilian.
All right, now slow down, because this is from earlier in the show, and I was going to recap it. By the way, with Liberal Al, if he has half a brain cell, what I imagine he's doing is trying to get a script written on ChatGPT about macroeconomics. So there's macro and micro, but let's not tell him any details. Okay, I took economics 1101 and 1102 in college. Okay, I know. I went to college.
I know micro, but believe me, macro is way out of my league.
Don't tell him what it is. No, slow down. I want to play this clip. Wait, hold on. I want to play this clip first. Okay. Now we've got two major news stories that I broke on the air today. President Trump gave an incredible speech in New Hampshire yesterday. It was a beautiful speech, and there's a clip that's being played all over the media about him where he calls Chris Christie fat. But that's a nothing thing from the speech. President Trump broke major news in the speech yesterday. I'm going to play the clip. He's talking about the prosecutor in Atlanta that is going to bring charges against him any day in Georgia. Listen, this is President Trump yesterday in New Hampshire.
And I probably have another one. They say there's a young woman, a young racist in Atlanta. She's a racist. And they say that she was after a certain gang, and she ended up having an affair with the head of the gang or a gang member.
Okay, so she was she's been known to prosecute gangs in Atlanta, okay? And she's been outspoken against gangs. And what Trump is saying, while she was going after a gang, she was having a relationship, which means sex, with either a gang leader or a gang member. That very well could be criminal. It needs to be investigated. And you know, what if we found out that the gang that had the guy she was having sex with, that the gang she went after and got rid of, it benefited the gang from her sex partner? You understand what I mean? Got rid of the competition.
Even if it's alleged, in my opinion,
it is criminal.
Let's say the gang member, promised her X amount of dollars or threatens the family. Either way it goes, they have code and ethics in the bar association. She should have been disbarred for that alone.
Correct.
Remove herself.
Lawyers, we had a lawyer in Broward County who was very well known a few years ago. He was a divorce lawyer, and he got in all kinds of trouble because he was having consensual sex with female clients in divorce cases.
Remember a couple of weeks ago, I called these people packs of wolves or hyenas. They fight amongst each other, but they stick together at a certain point. Brian did a show a couple of Saturdays ago in the morning show on Saturday, and we were talking about how they're incestuous. All they do is move these people around the beltway to get whatever they need accomplished done. It's hard to find evil people. That's why they will always stick together, because it's hard to indoctrinate people with that kind of mindset to be in their circle to continue their evil deeds. This is why they're constantly just shifting one job to the next to the next. In the real world, that doesn't happen. If you lose a job every other year, every 2 years, the next job will think really secondly or these people just move around like nothing, but they're hurting people, and we need to get rid of them all.
And I don't. Not on pens. I don't want people call. If we start talking about pens, it's like talking about marijuana. Every line will light up on it. All right, let's check in. Al, let's hear the script.
All right. A progressive Democrat will always advocate and openly promote a fiscally responsible budget that spends money wisely on social programs and not a budget that will enrich both the military and the insurance industrial complex. Allowing more than 6,000 lobbyists to continue to dictate both foreign policy and domestic policy has happened because of the Citizens United.
First off, that's not a script you just wrote. Everything you've just said, I've heard you say in your calls. All right, Al. Oh, my goodness. He's regurgitating his boring phone calls and claiming it's a script. Oh, my goodness. And where's the part about macroeconomics? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God. The guy had 25 minutes to write a script, and he didn't do it. So that's the story on the judge, or I'm sorry, not the judge, the prosecutor in Atlanta. Having a sexual relationship with someone like that for an attorney is a big, big deal. They get in a lot of trouble for it, okay? Now we find out that the judge in D.C. was a partner at Hunter's firm, and so Hunter Biden worked for the judge because she was a partner in the firm, and Burisma was his big fish client, so she made money off of Burisma. Why does everything keep going back to Ukraine? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? What? I don't know what that guy said, so I'm going to hit the dump button just in case. I have no idea what he said. Oh, my goodness. See what happens? I take Liberal Al, I held him over, and look what happens. It attracts weirdos and degenerates. All right, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. If you're on hold, stand by. We've got a lot more to cover. I've just scratched the surface with my show prep today. Our number, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio this year. We'll be back after this.
Making morning radio great again.
Now, I'm not afraid to talk about anything, but you just can't. We have open phones on Friday, and I just can't if I just go to the phones and let callers dictate the topics and the subjects, that's not hosting a show. Friday is when people can talk about anything they want. The other days, we got to have some content control. Okay, I've got more audio. Let me see what I want to play.
How can my corrupt political opponent, crooked Joe Biden, put me on trial during an election campaign that I'm winning by a lot, but forcing me nevertheless to spend time and money away from the campaign trail in order to fight bogus, made-up accusations and charges? That's what they're doing. I'm sorry, I won't be able to go to Iowa today. I won't be able to go to New Hampshire today because I'm sitting in a courtroom on bullshit because his attorney general...
Okay, I just had to make sure that was the bleeped version. I bleeped out the S word.
The turnpike is up to full speed. We do have a multi-vehicle crash on Atlantic Boulevard heading eastbound approaching.
Now, Friday is open phones when we can talk about anything and everything you guys want to talk about, but the other 4 days, you got to let us, the professionals. That's not doing a show. Wow. Only a half. Where did the show go? There's only a half hour left. No. I did not buy lottery tickets either. I was going to, but I didn't. Liberal Al. I'm always nice to Liberal Al. I know some of you probably heard me take this before. When I first started in radio, he was the first listener that I met out in public who like recognized me out of, because listeners, I run into listeners all the time, and some and YouTube viewers too, and he was the first listener, the first person who came up to me out in public and said, "Hey, are you Brian Craig?" And all this stuff. So, you kind of remember something like that. And that was a long time ago, over 30 years ago. So I always give Al a little leeway. Which tells you that he's old, because I was like a kid then.
Looking for the ideal place to host your next meeting or social event? Come to the Ben West Palm. With over 17,000 square feet of event space showcasing our beautiful downtown waterfront, the Ben can provide your attendees a memorable experience.
Had him in studio once. That was a big mistake. I had to change my cell phone number because of him. I had a great number too. And the last 4 digits of my phone number, well, I'm not going to tell you what they were, but I had a great phone number that was so easy to remember. And he had my cell phone, because anytime I have somebody in studio, I'll give them my cell phone number in case they get lost finding the radio station. They can text me. And he just called me and texted me mostly and stuff. And I changed my phone number because of him, and that's a tough thing to do, because it was a great number. I had it for years, and I remember I had to Attorney Barry Siegel. I said, yeah, I had to change my number, and he's like, wow, changing your cell phone number, that's a big deal, isn't it? And I was like, yeah, it is. Oh, you should see him, Christine, in person. He looks like the leather guy in The Village People after he's been homeless for 45 years, living on the streets. I think you would benefit better if I won the lottery. Not Bruce. All right.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, so President Trump's speech in New Hampshire, I got a couple other clips I want to play, one in particular. This one's beautiful. And I had to play it during the break to make sure this was the bleeped version, which it is. It's bleeped, okay? And this was really an amazing moment. This speech in New Hampshire that President Trump gave yesterday, if you've missed it, go watch it online after we go off the air here, all right? After the Steve Kane Show is over, then you can. Don't do it now. So this was just amazing. This is New Hampshire yesterday. President Trump is talking about these persecutions against him. Listen to this.
How can my corrupt political opponent, crooked Joe Biden, put me on trial during an election campaign that I'm winning by a lot, but forcing me nevertheless to spend time and money away from the campaign trail in order to fight bogus, made-up accusations and charges? That's what they're doing. I'm sorry, I won't be able to go to Iowa today. I won't be able to go to New Hampshire today because I'm sitting in a courtroom on book because his attorney general charged me with something.
Okay, yeah, so the beep's in there, Mike, don't worry. And then what happened after that, I tried to bleep this out, but I couldn't. So I have to just describe what happened next. So obviously I bleeped out the S word. And that was a good point that he made and everything else. And then the crowd started chanting BS, the whole word, over and over again. Never seen anything like it. And it went on for a long time. It was beautiful. And it was spot on, right on the money. And I thought that was just great. I really loved it. That was, oof. And the crowd reaction's unbelievable. I wish I could play it for you, but the crowd chanting BS for a few minutes, I can't. The only way I could do that is if I just had the beep going beep the whole time, because there's no way to bleep it out. So, yeah, I know. He's great. President Trump's always great. But that one was in particular a really good one. So this country, of course, is being invaded through the southern border. This is the largest invasion of not just the United States, but maybe a nation. Has there been an invasion? Because this invasion from the southern border has been going on for decades. It's probably the largest invasion of a nation in history. It could very well be. So President Trump's talking about the southern border and the problems with it. This is in New Hampshire yesterday.
I will immediately terminate every open borders policy of the Biden administration. Our country is being invaded. Following the Eisenhower model, we will use all necessary state, local, federal, and military resources to carry out the largest domestic deportation operation in American history.
Yeah, and this speech yesterday, you could tell he was on fire, and no one carried it on television. Not even Newsmax, from what I understand. Did Newsmax carry it, guys? I don't think they did. And it was one of his best speeches. I understand it was 2:30 in the afternoon on a Tuesday, but why would they not carry it? You know, it seems that the rest of the media should carry these speeches anyway. They've got him indicted all over the United States, and you know he's going to talk about it. So these speeches are, could you imagine if during the O.J. Simpson murder trial, O.J. was running around giving speeches all the time? Don't you think that'd be on TV? Of course. When there are people that are on trial, facing trial, suspects, and they do interviews or TV appearances, they're all over the news, except Trump. Except Trump. Because when he talks about these things, he's right, and it doesn't fit their narrative. So critical race theory and ending wokeism are very important. Although wokeism is a fad that seems to be dying out really on its own. Dylan Mulvaney and Bud Light began that. You know, maybe when woke finally dies, would it be appropriate to celebrate by everybody toasting to a Bud Light? Or should we still give up Bud Light then? I don't know. But this is President Trump talking about critical race theory and ending wokeness.
We'll get critical race theory and all other woke lunacy out of the United States Armed Forces. And we will abolish every Biden COVID mandate and rehire every patriot who was fired from our military with an apology and with back pay.
Wow, I mean, you know, these are very, very popular ideas. And that last part about the back pay with the people that were forced out of the military, that's amazing. Do they have to re-up to get the back pay, or will he give them the back pay up until that point, even if they don't go back in? I think he should. You know, President Trump, remember his campaign slogan in the second campaign? Promises made, promises kept. You know, and now he had to start making new promises because he accomplished all the other ones. But he's making a lot of promises here. And one thing you know about Donald Trump, he's not some politician who just runs around and says stuff. Okay? He goes around and he makes promises and he keeps them. You know, that's the way it is. And if you notice, really the only thing the media are focusing in on in that speech yesterday in New Hampshire is the Chris Christie comment, which I haven't played. I have it here, but I haven't played. Everybody's playing it. I'm not playing that one. That's the least news, right? And then they got Christie said, say it to my face. See, I was telling you guys yesterday, Christie has donors donating millions of dollars to him so that he can qualify for the debates. And the purpose of his whole campaign, his campaign is not because he's running for anything. They're putting him there because they think that if Trump, that they can trick Trump into a debate and Chris Christie can bark and yell at him during a debate and it'll destroy Trump. They did this before with Kamala Harris in the Democrat debates 4 years ago. Do you remember this? In the first Democrat debate, Kamala Harris wiped the floor with Joe Biden over his connections to Klansmen and segregationists. Okay, so what did they do? They put up a fake candidacy by Tulsi Gabbard, and they had Tulsi Gabbard come in for the second debate with a fake candidacy out of nowhere, and she filleted Kamala Harris. Remember that? And then Kamala Harris dropped out right after that. And they're trying to run that scheme with Chris Christie against Trump in the debates, and it shows you it's evidence of the collusion between the Democrats and the Republican Party establishments that Kari Lake has dubbed the Uniparty. Remember that? Tulsi Gabbard came in that second debate and destroyed Kamala. She brought up that Kamala had hidden some evidence in a death penalty case, and there were some other things I can't recall offhand. And that's one of the reasons I tell you don't trust Tulsi Gabbard. She's a Trojan horse, and she works for the Bidens. She did that to help Joe Biden, right? That wasn't a real campaign. And they're doing the same thing with Chris Christie, right? And then, of course, the highlight of President Trump's New Hampshire speech yesterday, which was historic, was the one I've been playing all morning. He's talking about the Atlanta District Attorney.
And I probably have another one. They say there's a young woman, a young racist in Atlanta. She's a racist. And they say, I guess, they say that she was after a certain gang, and she ended up having an affair with the head of the gang or a gang member. And this is a person that wants to indict me. She's got a lot of problems.
Yeah. So she's prosecuting gangs, and then he says she had an affair with either a gang leader or a gang member. That's something. That's something. And not one reporter has gone to Fani Willis to confirm or deny it. Right? They're all over Atlanta. CNN's got offices there. But they're not going to her to get a comment on that, are they? Which tells us either that they know it's true or they suspect it's true. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi.
Caller.
Hey, Brian, Steve, how you doing?
All right, Steve, what's up?
West Palm Beach.
Hey, what's on your mind? You're on the air.
Yeah, I always said growing up, the Democrats and the Republicans, they're on the same side. They just act like they're fighting.
Yeah.
And the heart. But you can't vote for them. You're crazy.
True.
There's a show that I watch with my son. Hidden Agenda, Real Conspiracies.
Yeah.
That affect our lives today. You can't even watch that show. It's uncanny.
I'll check it out. I got a bad phone connection with you. You're cutting out. I can only hear like half a syllable of every word. So call back another day, but I'll check that out. Hidden Agenda. I'll look for it, all right? Okay, now listen, we're going to take our last break of the day. If you're on hold, stand by. Our number's toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're listening to us, 888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I'm Brian. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on.
All right, welcome back, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking today?
Metals still getting us that buying opportunity we've been talking about, right on the low support range. Gold yesterday closing down $11.40 after trading in a range of $1,922 to $1,938 and closing out the day at $1,925 an ounce. Silver closed down 36 cents below $23 now, so great buying opportunity on silver. $22.75 was yesterday's close. Platinum, $901, closing down $17 yesterday, while platinum was down $14 at $1,200. This morning we got gold trading in a range of $1,921 all the way up to $1,932 last night, and currently at $1,925 the ounce. That's unchanged from yesterday's close. So 70 cents, platinum down $11 at $890, and palladium down $17 at $11.83. So again, right on those support lines that we've seen previously, and should be great buying opportunities right here.
Yeah, and all the metals are great buying times. And I've been asking you a lot about silver this week because I know premiums have dropped so much on silver. And yesterday I was talking to you about Silver Eagles and the 100-ounce silver bars that are great deals. And I got a DM on Twitter from a lady. She said the 100 ounces are pretty heavy for her. But there's other sizes. There's 10-ounce bars and there's kilo bars of silver. Can you tell people a little bit about those and what a great buy they are as well?
Yeah, sure. So beautiful. 10-ounce silver bars are in stock in kilos, which are 32.15 ounces of pure silver. Make very nice ways of stacking up your silver. Of course, we have 1-ounce bars and 1-ounce rounds and 1-ounce different coins from the different countries, also in silver. But great buying time. Yeah, and so obviously you can go into William Youngerman's and buy 1 ounce of silver if you like, but silver's priced so well. That's why I'm talking so much about the larger quantities. And those 10-ounce bars, a lot of people that buy silver call themselves stackers, and they like those 10-ounce bars and those kilo bars because they stack them up. And the way these bars are made, they stack really, really well. And also gold. We talk a lot about gold and the ounces and the bars, but gold is also available in fractional sizes, less than an ounce. Can you tell people what size fractional gold comes in? Because there's gold available for any budget. Yes, indeed. We have gold bars as small as 5 grams per bar. We have all the coins in 1/10, quarter ounce, half ounce, and of course 1 ounce size coins. So it comes in just about any size you want. Yeah, and don't think because you hear what the ounce price is, well, that's out of my budget. There's gold available for every single budget at William Youngerman's. All right, you can find William Youngerman online at williamyoungerman.com or give him a call. He opens up at 10 a.m., toll-free, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010, and online at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow. All right, back after this.
Now the Steve King Show is on the air.
All right, welcome back. Our number one, 888-GO-CANE-1. Okay, I want to play the soundbite of Biden, which I don't like doing, but this one, this is really scary. The Weather Channel, it's so strange how weather has gotten political, right? I mean, it just has gotten so political. And, climate change used to be called global warming, and they rebranded it. They changed the name to climate change because the weather wasn't agreeing. And what had happened, this is a true story, you can look this up. I don't remember the exact city because it's been over a decade ago. But they had the global warming conference at a city in Europe, and the entire worldwide media went there to cover it. And it was inside of a convention center, and they were all reporting from inside the convention center during the global warming summit. And it seemed a little odd, and the reason they were doing that is because the snow was waist deep outside, and they couldn't show the snow outside while they're reporting from the global warming conference because people say, wait a minute, what do you mean global warming? It snows up to the waist outside. I remember that. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And the founder of the Weather Channel has talked about how he believes that global warming's a hoax. And, climate changes all the time. Right now, we have these heat indexes of 115 degrees in South Florida. That's not the actual temperature. That's what the temperature feels like. And I know some people are saying, well, global warming must be true. When I was a kid in the 70s and 80s in Florida, and some of you may remember this, banks had signs out front. This is before we had, modern things. Banks had signs out front in the parking lot for the bank, and it had a digital clock and temperature. That it would flip between temperature and time in front of all the banks. And I remember as a kid, I used to come, before I lived in Florida, I'd come here during the summers to visit my grandparents and my dad, and we didn't have those clocks in Ohio, and certainly not these, and the temperatures were regularly 110, 105, 102, and it used to blow my mind that it was so hot in Florida. So that's I don't see those on banks anymore in Florida, but I remember that so well. And the Weather Channel, like NASA, has gotten very, very political when it comes to climate change, global warming, whatever they call it. And the reason there's so many that are this way is that when liberals are in power, if you are a scientist, which weather people are, meteorology is a science, and you give them the results they want, you get the funding. And the Weather Channel had one of their reporters interview Joe Biden, which seems so stupid and bizarre. Why would the Weather Channel be doing a political interview? Well, because weather has become political. And listen to this. This is Joe Biden. This is a one-on-one interview with a reporter from the Weather Channel yesterday.
Let's talk Gen Z, because they're going to play a big role in the next presidential election. And many of them are angry about the 7,000 oil and gas permits you approved since you've been in office. You promised...
Now, permits mean nothing. Just because you get a permit doesn't mean there's any oil there.
No new drilling on federal land or offshore. Can you tell Gen Z that you haven't broken your promise?
Yes, because the courts overruled me. The court said I couldn't do it. I wanted to stop all drilling on the East Coast.
Okay, I wanted to stop all drilling on the East Coast. Wow. All drilling he wanted to stop. Now, this is, I know, this is insane. This is insane. First off, I'm done with the Weather Channel. I am done with the Weather Channel. The Weather Channel cannot be trusted when they're doing... And first off, who cares what Gen Z thinks? Right? When they move out of their parents' house and start paying their own cell phone bills, then they can have a voice. Who cares? They're kids. Okay? Please. People in high school. Who cares? I used to care what teenagers thought when I was a teenager. All these things, I see these things on TV, youth panels and teen panels. Who cares? They're children. They have no idea what they're talking about. But the Weather Channel, he wanted to shut down all drilling on the East Coast. See, the climate business is about one thing and one thing only, China. China's behind the whole thing. Remember, Biden gave China the largest lithium deposits on the planet. Callers on hold, standby. I'll take another call or two before the end of the show. I just want to finish with this. In Afghanistan. Afghanistan, prior to 9/11, their biggest export, they had two exports in Afghanistan. Remember this? Before 9/11, before we took over Afghanistan, do you know what the two primary exports of Afghanistan were? Heroin and terrorism. That's it. Those were the two exports. Heroin and terrorism. When we took over Afghanistan, we did a geological survey and found they had the largest lithium deposits in the world, which is the primary component to the electric car batteries. And they bordered China, right? Our military base was just like 150, 200 miles from China that Biden gave them. It was a spy base we had against China. China has no oil. As big as China is, they have no oil. They don't. So they're pushing us into electric vehicles, which they manufacture and control the major lithium deposits, which are a necessary component to the batteries, so that the world becomes dependent on China. We have more oil than Afghanistan. When Donald Trump made us the #1 producer of oil in the world, We used to be the #1 producer of oil until the end of the 50s, when the liberals started selling our country out. We have more oil than OPEC. Okay? We should be paying very little for oil, very little for gas. The main reason we have inflation is because of the gas prices. China owns Biden. China owns Biden. And many others in our government, like Mitch McConnell and others, you know this. China wants us off oil. They want us on electric cars so that we're dependent on them to move around. That's what this is all about. It's not about saving anything. If it was about saving the planet, Biden and all these global warming people would do every meeting by Zoom. This interview with Biden was outside somewhere. She flew, he flew, they flew. They had more carbon footprint for that interview than I produce all year. They would do it by Zoom and have a reduced carbon footprint. If they really believed that this activity was going to be destructive to the planet to the level where the earth would not be able to sustain human life as we know it, they wouldn't be flying all over the place for stupid interviews and meetings. Right? Exactly. Exactly. It's all about China. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
John Okeechobee.
Hey, John.
You have an excellent program. Your two subjects today, I didn't see anything about them yesterday. I looked all over the place. Didn't see anything. In fact, I missed Trump's speech in New Hampshire. Breaks my heart. But you got it right on there. Let me give you a piece of macroeconomic information. K2 money supply, M2 money supply, has declined 5 under Biden. Last time that happened was before the Depression.
Yeah.
Go out and buy gold.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well, go to William Youngerman's and buy gold. I agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah, you know, I feel so sorry for families with children right now. I don't know how they're doing it. The inflation is such a burden on this country, and it's inflation that's been caused on purpose because the donors of the people that run this government right now, China and others, are driving inflation up, and they don't care. That's it. That's it. Inflation is being caused because China owns our officials. Now, during this heat wave, we're getting more heat alerts today. I mean, these heat indexes over 100 degrees again. And I was talking earlier in the show, my washer and dryer are in my garage, and my garage doesn't have AC. And we were doing laundry yesterday, and it built up because we hadn't wanted to open the garage, because every time we go out into the garage, it sucks our air conditioning out of the house and heats up the house. Well, we finally had to do laundry yesterday because I was running out of, underwear and stuff. But anyway, when I went to bed last night, the house was too hot because we'd been going in and out of the garage doing laundry. And boy, oh boy, when I got into bed, I was the perfect temperature because I've got the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper 2.0 with cooling technology. Now, this new mattress topper, which is 40% off and free shipping with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, comes in every mattress size there is. I have a queen-size bed, but it comes in every size from twin all the way up to California king and every size in between. That it's an upgrade on the original 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. It has cooling technology like the MyPillow 2.0, but the temperature regulating is for the entire body. I got into bed last night and I was cool and I was comfortable and it was like, wow, heaven, all night long. So order your MyPillow mattress topper 2.0 with cooling technology. It'll just change your life. It's great for the summer. I just sent one out to my daughter. Well, I ordered it and had it delivered to her house for her sleeper sofa. So if you've got a sleeper sofa, you know how those are. You want your guest to sleep comfortably when they visit. That's why it was kind of selfish because I want one. I want to sleep comfortably when I visit her, and I got to sleep on the sleeper sofa. But it's great for your sleeper sofa and your guest beds as well. You want your guest to have a great experience, okay? The MyPillow mattress topper 2.0 with cooling technology is 40% off and free shipping when you use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, toll free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right, well, that's all the time we have for today, but we'll be back tomorrow, and just huge news. I didn't even get to half of my show prep today, but that's okay. There'll be a whole nother stack tomorrow because things are falling apart for the Uniparty. They're falling apart for the establishment. They're falling apart for Ron DeSantis, but things are going perfectly for Donald Trump and the MAGA movement. Now, if you ever miss a show or a portion of the show, or maybe you called in and you want to hear your call in perfect studio sound, each day about an hour after we sign off the air, Mike, our board op, uploads the entire show as a podcast at TrueOldiesFLA.com. TrueOldiesFLA.com, and they're archived up there forever. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. God bless America, and of course, God bless the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. See you tomorrow.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3.
All right, guys. I'll see you later. All right, thanks for watching. Make sure you like the video and subscribe.